I'm not
Yeah,
happy.
you left and
I'll let you
everything
know.
hit the fan. You just left and then full autism struck.
Hey, yeah,
You let
be grateful.
you let the boys run free.
The boys are back in town, don't worry.
Yeah, you have to keep them
And
on a tight
back in
leash.
jail.
The boys are back in jail.
Alright, let's see. I'll tell you precisely what happened. Well, not precisely, I'll give you a vague idea of what happened. Uh, so, last time you guys found yourself in the Mushroom Village, also known as Neverlight Grove. Some of you have been there before as players, but none of your characters have been there before. Uh, but seemingly there was no one to greet you, and not only that, your Paladin of Tier companion Silurian had gone missing, and when you went to check for her, you found her tracks kind of just vanished. You pressed onwards, thinking, well, fuck it, let's go, and walking through the fungal forest up ahead, you were caught out and almost, I guess, kind of ambushed by some myconids, which are these basically mushroom people, uh, and their Quagoth spore servants, which were these giant zombified fungal dudes who were kind of like big apes with big ass claws, but they seemed to follow the requests of the mushroom men. You met with the leader in their meditation circle. There seemed to only be a handful of these myconids living in the grove for now, and they offered up some food, and they seemed nice enough until you started insight checking them. But Epicus and Angrod both ate the food. Epicus withstood whatever tainted the food, but Angrod quickly fell unconscious again. And the Myconid's leader, Sovereign Philo, was very insistent on you staying until your friend recovered from whatever affected him, and also offered you the chance to join them in the migration to the Great Wedding. You did not take them up on their offer, and pieced out when Angrod regained consciousness, but he seemed off. He started randomly staring off into the distance, and not really realizing it, and you guys had to snap him out of it several times. You now, on your way to Gracklstugh, encountered some weird Duergar minding a column and not paying any mind to you whatsoever. There was like a couple dozen of them or so, and you even seen a couple of them collapsing as you sort of stood and watched them for a bit and kind of were deciding what to do. But you figured, let's just leave these guys to it, and this could be maybe a subtle hint to your whereabouts, and maybe you're close to Gracklstugh. You reached the gates eventually and found yourself ambushed. Some invisible dudes behind you, and some guys flanking you either side with these hidden slits in the walls. They called out in Dwarvish and demanded to know what you wanted, what you were doing there. And Bosner spoke some Dwarvish. None of you understood what was going on, but he was kind of coming out with a big dick plays and just told them that he would. Well,
Fuck them up.
yeah, basically, they were impressed with your balls, let's say, and they thought, yeah, let's let these guys in. But you were greeted at the gates as they opened by a Duergar named Garcklstugh, who, after extorting you or taking a bribe from you of a magical item, sent you on your way with some escorts and towards the Dark Lake district, and basically told you non-Duergar were not allowed to leave this district in particular. It seemed like, as you got there, it seemed like some kind of... It was the docks to the Dark Lake, and there's some kind of mercantile or trading hub known as the Bazaar around the city as well. Angrod also attempted to speak to some of the locals and failed. He ran up to one of the local Duergar who seemed in a hurry. You also noticed as well all the residential housing, which there was some of on this district and alongside the lake. A lot of them were boarded up and barricaded for some reason, and the streets were eerily empty compared to what you think they would have been, considering it's a huge trading hub. And the road seemed wide enough for carts on either side to get up and down, and for people to like unload and load to and from the Dark Lake. But nonetheless, Angrod failed to speak with one of the locals as he bribed him with a platinum piece, stood there, and then Angrod stared off into the distance. So he was a platinum piece down, and the guy just pieced out. Yeah, but you guys were like, well, let's speak to. The rest of you thought it would be a good idea to speak to someone else nearby and get some info. You bought something from a deranged merchant who seemed to be talking to a non-existent person and consulting with him on prices, and also when you asked him about nearby taverns and inns, he gave you a couple. After consulting his imaginary friend, he told you about the Shattered Spire and Gobron's lair, and you were like, okay, cool, and he pointed you to the sort of directions that they were in. Gobron's lair being an inn sort of underneath the bazaar, uh, sort of to the east, and the spire to the west, and this like little island. You guys made your way towards the spire, the tavern, when you noticed a merchant being assaulted by a couple of hooded assassins wielding glowing swords. One of the nearby piers. You intervened immediately, almost not even hesitating one bit, as
Gracklstugh
Gracklstugh
PD,
P.D. and swiftly dealt with them, whilst Evkis kept watch on for any oncoming guards. You guys had a bit of clowning around, sort of holding person with Nihal and trying to tie him up. And trying to you murdered one of them outright, and the other one you tried to torture. You tried to waterboard or something like that, but it didn't really work out. And then Epkis called out that there was near guards on the way, so you guys just like kicked him into the lake, all tied up, unable to get out of his binds, and pieced out. You Whilst the guards got there and you made your quick escape, you weren't sure if they clocked you. They seemed to be looking in your direction as you're like a colourful bunch fleeing the scene, but you weren't sure with your self-check if you managed to slyly get away. You decided, at this point, like a couple hours went by, you decided to lay low from the guards and shit, and you felt the rumbling coming from some large footsteps behind you beyond the gates, followed by the spouting of flames coming from a large red dragon who was walking the streets outside of the Dark Lake district and deeper into the city, and he seemed to be lighting up the forges with his flame breath. And he was also not only bigger than the dragon some of you previously saw, but also thick. He was a thick boy, and made his rounds.
Like a dragon or
He didn't get a good look, but he was beefy, let's just say. But yeah, he was also generally just larger than the dragon you guys have encountered before, a red dragon. You were lying low. No, I've already read that bit. Oh yeah, so after you laid low. Oh, also, Bosner knew the dragon's name, because he did some research on Gracklstugh and Gravenhollow, and he surmised the dragon's name was Themberchod. But I think that's all you really knew. Oh no, I told you that, it kind of works for the city. There's kind of like a mutual partnership there. It keeps the forges lit whilst the Keepers of the Flame, which is the organization which sort of work with it, they look after the dragon and give it what it wants for the most part. But your travelling again to the spire was further interrupted by a two-headed stone giant bursting through a gate, crushing a nearby Durgar patrolman, and with the aid of another guard who appeared to be from a different branch, military branch, as he had this like strange fire lance. You guys managed to defeat the giant by just banishing him to the Shadow Realm. And after a couple of minutes went by and the guard told you to stay put, some reinforcements arrived. A stone giant with some 4 or 5 stone guards who were these heavily armoured, militant Durgar. You couldn't even see any inches of their skin, just full plate, big helmets, big ass swords and shields. And they all arrived and sort of surrounded the scene. the guard that fought along your side filled everyone in on what was going on, and he was very accurate. He didn't downplay what you guys did, but did also, you didn't get any praise or anything. Almost as like it was expected. Uh, but the giant, he told you guys what happened. He sprouted ahead after convening with the stone god they had like a rock or something that they pray to, and he sprouted ahead and just started rampaging through the city before you guys stopped him. And he would have liked for his friend to be returned, perhaps he could save him. But you guys were like, sorry dude, he's banished. He's like, well, he basically said he appreciates that you stopped the rampage and that you should visit Cairngorm sometime, which is the sacred place where the Stonekeepers hang out. You guys were then taken for questioning in the Overlake Hold by the Stone Guard, but a Keeper of the Flame member intervened on the way there and allowed for you guys to have a choice: go and be questioned, which the guards informed you would have to be done either way, but you could do it at a later time, or come with the Keeper and see what he has to say. He never really gave much details, but he was essentially giving you like a get out of jail free card, literally. But you guys were like, let's just go to the hold. For whatever reason, maybe you thought the guy was shady, or maybe you just want to get this over with. But yeah, you chose to go to the hold, and he said, "Oh, you're welcome to visit them sometime in the future, perhaps." And that's where we left off.
So that's why we're going to jail.
So we're technically not in jail, but we need to be questioned.
And then we go to jail. Not in jail yet.
Yeah.
We're going to jail.
Just don't say anything stupid.
Am I correct in thinking we came out of jail last session, moved around a bit, and we got a different jail?
Alright.
I tell
Well,
you,
if you
Maybe a more impressive jail.
if you count Neverlight as being imprisoned,
We were pretty much like we couldn't really go anywhere. It would satisfy.
I wouldn't say it wasn't jail. We were sort of held there.
yeah, they were
Such a different thing,
insistent.
really.
They were really insistent. But yeah, you guys are on the way to the Overlake Hold with a few of the Stone Guard at the moment. The Keeper, he sort of headed south away from you guys, and you peeled away. And you arrived just outside of it last time, where you saw they had. Firstly, there was this huge chimney billowing like smoke, coming from this basically what looks like a fortress or a castle carved into, like a stalagmite. And also you noticed on one of the high ledges, almost like the top of the castle, there was a bunch of catapults, the inferior siege engine around the top of the castle itself, aimed towards the lake, and maybe like obviously defending against any lake invaders. But yeah, so you're brought into the hold, and as they bring you in, you notice immediately there are dungeon cells as you come in. They kind of like lead down these stairs to the side, almost going down like 15 feet or so, and they're kind of carved. So you've got like the bars, and then the rest of the jail's just literally rock carved out. And you kind of walk past all of these as the guards take you through, and up ahead where there is a large metal door up ahead on the left, and sort of to the right there's this large, almost foyer I guess, with some like spiral staircase leading upwards, and it's quite big. It didn't look so big from the outside. It looked pretty small for a fort or a castle, but you come in, it seems bigger on the inside, and you're taken to these doors which are like black steel with these sort of rivets and studs in it. Pretty intimidating looking. And after like a couple of bangs from one of the escorts, the door is pushed open by them, and you see there a dark office, and you're met by, on the other side, a imposing female grey dwarf. She's fully armoured and bears some insignia that you haven't seen on any of the other Duergar. Most Duergar, especially the guards and the military, they all, from the different branches, they appear to all have different insignias and motifs on their armours. And this one is one you haven't seen on any of the sort of grunts that you've met throughout the city. Like the Stone Guard, the one with the Fire Lance, which they're known as Zaron, and the regular old guards that are kind of like town's guards essentially. And the guards kind of push you in from the back, and she just kind of stands there, arms crossed, for the moment, and she's like sizing you all up. And then after a moment, the door closes behind you, and you look back, and the guards are sort of at your backs, sandwiching you between the women, with shields and swords ready, but not like they're about to just fucking cheb you from behind or anything. They just have them ready. And the female says to you all, she says, "I am Captain Erde Blackskull, commander of the Stone Guard." As she kind of gives you all like a calculating look, she says, "Let me start by saying you're all worth nothing here in Gracklstugh. Most of those in my command would sell you off in a heartbeat as the cheapest manual labour. However, I've learned to make much better use of adventurers like you. So firstly,
Okay.
what's your business in the city?"
Is she speaking in common or dwarfish?
Common. She notices you guys are mostly surface dwellers, so she speaks in common.
Just passing through. Look and see if there's any business.
Um. Do you want to roll a check for that? Deception check?
I'll deceive the fuck out of her.
Sure.
Oh fuck.
Real shit out of character here. I've kind of forgotten what we're doing here in the first place.
Looking for my lad.
Well, we are passing through.
Mhm.
We came here to stop for supplies and that before we headed into the thingy.
The thing.
To the labyrinth.
Oh, you guys didn't even go for supplies though yet. You bought like
I know,
paper
that's the
and
worst
ink. You were in the bazaar last session. You could have bought stuff.
Ah, but they were all
stuff to sell.
crazy.
Yeah, they were. Anyway, she looks
But
at
by the
you.
way,
Yeah, go
if
ahead.
in the bazaar there was somebody that was invisible, I would have seen it.
Oh yeah, you noticed because you have your cloak. You noticed You noticed about altogether a dozen of invisible patrolmen just walking around,
What the fuck?
and sometimes they would follow you. They were following you all in twos.
There's also some
Okay.
like fucking midget that like robbed a stall or something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. It wasn't like a huge like detail, but
Yeah.
so yeah, she looks at you, Angron, and without even batting an eyelid says, "You won't get anywhere with that deception. Just tell
No,
us the
seriously,
truth."
it's not deception. We came here for supplies.
Is
Uh,
there any invisible people in this room? Like invisible to the others?
Yeah, there's 2 invisible stone guard along with the 4 who have been escorting you.
How big's this office? Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's big. This is like a castle, and this is like a castle room. Uh, she says, "It matters not. You look like a capable bunch. And if you do get up to anything, I will definitely know about it. And she says nothing goes unseen within these city walls. The walls have eyes. And
So it's okay.
Thought they had ears.
Can I say that I've noticed?
oh, what you want to say to your party? Like previously?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, since you weren't here when this happened, I'll say that Nihal probably filled you all in and told you that there's a bunch of invisible peeps all over the city and following you and stuff.
Lovely place.
Yeah. Yeah, extra lovely with the desolate city and the barricaded up residential areas. Anyways,
Condemned housing, stone giant, smoke in the air, what's not to love?
she says, she continues on. She says, my guards have been tracking the movements of a Darrow, a little halfling-sized creature named Drocky in the Dark Lake district. He's managed to avoid capture so far, as if he knows in advance where our patrols will be. All we know is that he lives in the West Cleft district, a place in which us Duergar do not enter unless it's to cause chaos. I want you to follow
So-
Droge and see what he does, where he goes and what he gets up to, and report back to me. Or even better,
So you don't want it captured?
well, I was just getting to that. And she kind of like scowls at you a bit and squints. And you can see like she's not a patient person. She says, anyways, it would be great if you could seize him, or even if you find the evidence, killing him is fine by us, as long as you have the evidence to support his activities and what he's been up to.
And
What
what are
activities has he been up to? We noticed him, like, steal from a stall and cause chaos in the district. But aside from that, what else has he been up to?
We have reason to believe he is the cause of a lot of chaos within the city. There are rumors he's working with both the Council of Savants and the Grey Ghosts. And
What are the great ghosts like?
I'm gonna pretend I know what that means.
she
Grey
says the
Ghosts.
Grey Ghosts are a thieves' guild, for a lack of a better term. Although they tend to dabble in assassinations and murdering, but they're very hard to get a hold of.
Would Agron be able to make an intelligence check to link this to the crime earlier on that we partook in?
Can I
you
telekinetically tell Angod to shut the fuck up?
you can make that you can make that connection if you want. You don't know for sure if it's true, if it's really those guys were Grey Ghost related because you never got any information out of them.
I'd
If you
try,
were a
and
Greek
then a dwarf threw a baby in the river.
Yeah, and she says basically she tells you that they're a thieves guild. Although the city guard don't know where they operate, they don't know their members. They're very very secretive and very shadowy, as a thieves guild would be.
Sorry, what did you say? Another group before that?
The Council of Savants.
Cool.
She says they are a group of Darrow, the only ones who do not live in squalor in the city or are not slaves to us Duergar. We negotiate with them and they get to live in luxury by doing our bidding and quelling any uprisings that the Darrow may have thoughts of.
So you'd like us to find the little bastard, aye?
Yes, we cannot risk, with the current chaos in the city and the current corruption going on, we cannot risk a Darrow uprising, and we believe Droki is the key behind it, and we have to stop or intervene between these two factions.
Okay.
Speaking of corruption, if you see any evidence of corruption, which may escape my warrior's gaze, then report it back to me. All this and you will earn favor, earn some coin depending on what you bring back, and I, depending on how good your information is, along with capturing Droki. I guarantee complete freedom of movement in the city, as well as I will take on some requests if they are reasonable.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
We're only talking about high-level corruption, not just simple pulling over the adventurers coming in fresh off the mountain, yeah?
She says, well, there have been strange going-ons the past couple of months in particular.
Okay.
There have been... She kind of like... What does she know actually? I have to think about it. She says, there have been tales and rumours throughout the cities my invisible guards have picked up from some outsiders that they are afraid for their lives within the walls, and we have lost a lot of trade due to this, as outsiders have been going missing. This has been going on for the past couple of months, and there has been a strange atmosphere in the air. Residents are afraid for their lives, and there are talks of cultish behaviours. Now this could be due to the two aforementioned factions, and perhaps they have become corrupt, and this is why we must know what they're up to. Do you agree to these terms?
You
Yes,
sound
I
very-
I don't speak for everyone here, but I certainly agree.
I think it's fair enough.
Yeah.
Before we go, can I ask one thing? Within the district you're walking around, a lot of the residential area was boarded up. Do you know why this is?
She says residents are afraid for their lives. The rumours behind the cults have scared them, as well as the various missing people within the city in the past couple of months. This has only been prevalent since a fairly new occurrence, and it seems various other civilians in the city have succumbed to strange thoughts and actions, which is why we must find out what's going on and stomp it out immediately. Do this, and also I will gain much favour with the Deep King himself.
Well, understandable. Are we ready to go?
Can you point us to the district?
She says, she says,
Or give us general directions?
I'm just looking for something here. She says, take these, and hands you all these steel amulets. They're like black steel, and it almost resembles like a warhammer with a star at the end of it coming out. She says, this will grant you access to neighbouring districts outside of the Dark Lake. If you're approached by any of the guard, show this and you should be granted access. However, there are still restricted areas you cannot reach with this. She says, as I said before, Droki we have reason to believe he operates in the West Cleft district, which, since you have not been beyond this district, you will not know, but cutting the city in half from north to south is a large chasm known as Laudgar's Furrow. And on the western side you will find the West Cleft district, and on the East Cleft of this rift. These areas are largely residential and especially populated by Dero, who don't look like much on their own, but in a group they could deal some damage, so be careful. Can't have you dying before you fulfill our agreement.
Angrod is sad because he remembers El Horde Arrynview.
Wait, what? How's that relevant?
They died before their job was done.
Fuck.
Oh god.
Triggered.
Feels bad, man.
Angrod just starts staring off in the distance again.
With tears in his eyes.
One solitary tear down your cheek.
Just give him a swift nudge in the ribs.
Yeah, and you kind of feel the sharp.
Sharp.
Yeah, you notice he was like eyes glazed over, and he gets a little nudge. And yeah, so she says that, and she says, I would not suggest going beyond Laudgar's Furrow, as this insignia may not get you through some of those areas. But the West Cliff district is west of
Bless
this
you.
chasm.
Fuck's-
Now, any more questions?
Do you have a doctor?
Yeah, it's been a bit sick lately.
He's always been sick, but he's actually ill this time.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we
Tell me
don't
this
really
is
need a physician. We need a psychiatrist
Uh,
and an exorcist.
she says,
I get the feeling you're asking
What?
the wrong people.
what kind of doctor and what for?
Just...
Are you defective?
Yeah, he is defective.
Have you not noticed? He just stops occasionally.
Yeah, apparently I keep stopping, so I thought a doctor might be able to help me out.
Well, what kind of doctor do you seek?
Free
I think
one.
one's a head doctor.
A head doctor. Headology. Need some headology.
A biologist, the doctor. A man of science.
You know what? What doctors do you have, and we'll see if
yeah,
any of them.
yeah.
She
Point me in all
says,
directions.
we do. We have basic first aid medics for our warriors, as well as clerics of Ladugur, a small temple in the city with some priestly folks who may bless and heal.
Can I do a religion check on that god?
Yeah, sure.
He's a mushroom god.
Come on.
Mushroom god. You feel like you've heard of it before. It's a dwarvish or specifically Duergar god, and the only thing you really know about it is it's all about sort of self-reliance and survival. Oh, cheers. So yeah, that's all you really
Okay.
get. That's the only. Yeah, that's all you know with that roll.
Can you put whereabouts is this? Is this church? Sorry,
Wait, what did you say?
whereabouts is the church?
Uh, she says. Quick map check. She says you will find it southwest of here, towards the furrow, but still within the Dark Lake district. It's a large stalagmite just like this, with a temple carved into it.
And I give her a thumbs up, like thank you.
She says, anything to further this mission and cause. Now, is that all? I don't have an infinite amount of time.
Looks like it.
I think that's me.
And then she just kind of like hand waves you, and the guards like grab you from behind and just like shove you forward and take you through the door. They kind of don't have any regard for you at all, just almost like lugging you around like just baggage.
Very hospitable place.
Yeah, and they just kind of push you out the front door and uh, the large double doors
Okie dokie.
and stand just staring at
What?
you.
What time of the day is it?
Uh, you don't know because there's no sky.
So I'll ask one of the guards.
Okay, so you go up to one of the guards,
Like, because
the full plate guards.
if it's kind of like night for them and there's nothing open and nobody on the street, there's really no point for us to go now because we wouldn't find him.
Okay, so that's. Do you ask the guard?
Yeah.
Uh, so you ask him what time it is, and he just. he just says, "How am I supposed to know?"
Okay, is it business hour still?
He says, "Do I look like I carry a watch?"
It's like,
Okay,
well,
thank
go have a look.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, the bazaar's not far from the hold. You would know because that's where you kind of got dragged from.
Let's go to the
I
bazaar.
wouldn't say dragged, I would say escorted.
Like I would say, like if you're talking about blocks, it's like 3 blocks away. It's not far. Where the devastation of that stone giant took place. So you, uh, hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention on the recap was when you saved the guy on the pier, his name was Mers, Salt Baron, and he said to meet him at the Shattered Spire. That was something I forgot.
Cool.
Oh yeah, fuck, we're free to go now. Let's go there.
Yeah, let's go there.
Uh,
We're gonna talk to the keepers of the flame at some point.
Yeah, but fuck them. They can wait. They can wait.
Fair it is.
So you guys start walking towards the bazaar, and your destination is the spire once again.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to walk through the bazaar to get there. So you start walking westward. Do you want to kind of go inland, or do you want to walk sort of across the docks area?
I actually want to go by the docks.
Okay.
I wanted to give away the stuff that I don't need.
Fuck, I need to
It's
get my
time for
shop
every-
list up. Alright, here we go. Oh shit. So, you guys are going the dock route. Sure. So you start walking across and you see there's a few merchants and one of them appears to be doing business with another Duergar. He's got like a little stall set up. You're not sure what he's selling from this distance, and you can hear like just raised voices coming from like they're arguing. But nothing catches your eye just now that's too interesting. Do you just continue on towards the spire, or is there anything you want to do in the bazaar?
I want to sell stuff
Okay,
or give it away. Tell her.
okay. Any kind of guy in particular you're looking for? Any?
I want to give away my weapons.
Right. Okay.
It's not like I ever used one of my javelins or my scimitar is useless, and
Okay.
that stuff I want to get rid of.
So you just pick any old guy, any of the merchants, one that's free. You see one who's calling out, and he's just like, he's just, he's really blunt. He's just calling out like, "I've got the best stuff. Come and buy my stuff." And it's just like he
okay.
seems kind of slow.
Hello there.
Do you need a spell book?
And I've got one.
Well,
Do you want this spell book?
yeah, it was Ironville spell book.
He was
Oh.
pretty powerful.
I'll take a look at it.
And there's some weird stuff in there.
Okay, so I give that one to him.
Okay. So you get this like, that was actually the spell book from Slibladop. So it's this weird. It's almost like leather bound, but it's not leather, and it's really tatty and not very eloquent. It's bound as well with some weird hair or something. All the parchment inside, and it almost looks kind of demonic in nature, the way it's constructed, almost like a Necronomicon or something.
Oh,
I son of a bitch!
But you can see, like, on the inside, it is ink. It's not blood or anything. It's ink that's written all over, and
Or maybe it's very dried ink.
it looks like spells and incantations and things written up on, like, each page.
no, I'll keep it hold, man. I'll read it when I've got time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
So get rid of that. And so, is there anything in the bag of holding?
Yes.
Like
Okay, the
anything
thing.
apart from the eye and the egg?
Who are you asking?
You.
I can't tell you. The way the bag of holding works is you put your hand in, you think of the object, and then you pull it out.
Yeah, but I want to know what Ironville had inside. I can't think of something that I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Can you not turn it out inside out and everything comes out?
You could.
There's something like that.
Oh, didn't you?
But I don't want everything to come out.
Yeah, basically random body parts jumping out of the place.
Okay, then I think of body parts and I see. if
Oh
anything
no,
comes
no, no,
out.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, you reach in and you pull out the leg of an orc.
Ew! Can I just drop it on the floor?
Sure, you're in the middle of the bazaar.
In the middle of the
Okay.
bazaar.
You pull
Okay,
out, you
okay,
pull out
okay,
an
I'll
orc.
put it back. I'll put it back.
And also with your cloak on, there's a guard following you, invisible.
Yeah, I'll guess that.
Yeah. So you pull out a leg and quickly stick it back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have an orc leg, I have paper, and I have ink. Okay.
Okay. I need to get Iron Bear sheet
Well,
just in case.
yeah, I'll check it when we are somewhere more private.
Okay.
I don't think private exists in this fucking city.
Yeah, you don't know.
So what are you doing then? Are you still wanting to get supplies?
Yeah, I want to give away stuff.
Okay. You walk up to a nearby Durgar merchant. You see he's got like a sort of scraggly, greyish white mohawk. He's got dark bluish skin, pure white eyes. He appears to have a couple of gold teeth and like a really unkempt beard. And he's kind of just like shouting at everyone who walks by. And as you approach, he's just like, "Oh, What are you buying?
Oh
I
boy,
want to
apparently-
sell.
He says, look at all these wares. And like he shows you, he's got like a table, a couple of tables full of just like random ass shit, like a bit of everything.
I want to sell.
Uh, hmm.
I'll buy what you got.
Yes!
Anything useful.
He says, depends. What's your profession, sir?
Kind of between jobs at the moment. We're, adventurers. Yeah.
Oh, he's like, I've got just the thing. And he shows you to like a specific part of uh, his stand,
Stall.
I guess.
Stall.
And he's got like various weapons and armors. He's got some well-looking shit that looks well made. Obviously Durgar stuff generally is really well made as dwarvish people, and they work non-stop. And as you've been in the city, in the background, all you hear is the clinking of smiths in the background, and obviously the thick smog that fills the air too, basically. And he shows you he's got some medium and heavy armors. He's got some sort of chainmail. He's got some breastplate. He's got hand axes. He's got some maces, and they look well made. He's got a battle axe or two. He also has hammers in the such. What else? Manacles. He sells manacles. If you want manacles. Smiths.
Wait, are manacles like handcuffs?
Yeah. They're like handcuffs
We
that go
might-
around your neck and hands.
Well, you might need some of those. For apprehending the
He
little.
said, oh, you're in the
Oh, yeah.
slave trade, I see.
No.
Ish.
Oh, you're in the right city, sir. Oh, if it's slaves you want, we've got them.
I don't have an interest in slaves. Thank you.
Angrod is internally saying, I'm going to kill this man, I'm going to kill him.
Well, I look at Angrot and I say he likes kinky stuff.
He says, these manacles are fine. And as he picks them up, he turns invisible. And he keeps talking, and he's just like,
But I can see him.
yeah, you can still see him, but he just holds them there. He just turns invisible as he's standing there, and he continues talking, and he's just going on about like, the smiths. This is locally made by our smiths. We're the finest in the world, and all that. And he's just like invisible, standing there with floating manacles in front of you all.
Are you aware you just went invisible?
He said, what are you talking about? I'm right here.
Yeah, he's
no,
right
you're-
there.
He said, you're looking
you're
right
not.
at me.
No,
Yeah,
you're not.
But
No.
you're not there.
Do you want to
You're not
buy
there.
these or what?
Oh, God.
Ah, fuck's sake.
How
How much are they?
What if I trade them?
He kind of grumbles. What have you got?
It's just
I've got a scimitar
Let's see it.
and I'll
better
give
shit
it to
talk
him
your
to
scimitar.
see.
Which scimitar is this?
A scimitar.
a scimitar.
Just
No,
a
nothing.
regular, nothing special.
Yeah. And two javelins.
Scimitar. He looks at it. Oh, this is the one that's like druidified, eh? It's got like, it's like got vines and stuff as the handle and shit. He looks at it and he's like, "What's this garbage? I can't do anything with this. This isn't
And I'm like-
dwarvish made."
I'm like, I've got this. And I'll give him like 10 gold pieces. I'm like, how much gold you looking for, sir?
He says, "Oh, is that for the manacles?
Yes.
Oh, here, take them." And he quickly takes the gold off you, and you just see like, the gold you handed out just gets snatched out your hands, and he chucks the manacles over your arm, and it kind of weighs your
Probably
arms
was gonna
down.
ask you for a couple of gold and you just gave him 10.
No refunds.
No refunds, I'm okay with that. And I go to email because I'm filthy fucking rich.
You notice he also has a bunch of other trinkets and bullshit.
I asked him,
Yeah.
Oh, I have a talking trinket.
Hey.
I ask him, do you have any small knives?
Like a dagger.
Are you looking for something specific?
Like a throwable one?
Oh, like a dagger.
Yeah.
Uh, Oh, you ask him. He says daggers. Uh, Not our weapon of choice. Or have a look. We haven't had much trade lately. And he becomes visible again as he's rumbling through behind his stall. And you hear like the clinking of steel, and he pulls up three sort of black steel daggers, and they look very angular and very like square at the base, and then comes to a point. But looks pretty well made.
Right. How much for the two of them?
Uh, he says, "You don't want all three? I'll give you a discount."
I'll take the third one.
Alright, okay. Give us the price for 3.
He says, 6 gold for the lot.
You drive a hard bargain.
These are dwarven-made daggers.
And I'm like, Bosner. I like give him a pat on the back. Inspect.
You can
It's
make a
daggers,
history.
man.
You can history check it if you want.
Do I have to?
Nah.
I'll do it anyway because it's just a really quick history check.
Alright.
Oh my god!
You're like, you squint at it, and you're not sure if it is dwarven made, but you sure tell your friends that it is, because you don't want to look dumb.
Hey, it looks sharp anyway, and probably dwarven. Just get them, they're fine.
Hmm.
Daggers.
This dagger looks like it's made of dagger.
Yeah. It seems.
Well, 6 gold pieces it is, good sir.
Yeah. And he puts the daggers down in front of you and takes gold pieces. So, slaves and assassinations, is it?
Or
No
assassinating slaves. Did you think about that option?
Oh, I wouldn't touch anyone's property in the city. That's not a good
No,
idea.
I'm talking about slaves doing assassinations.
He kind of just looks
So you mean
confused at you.
assassin slaves?
He raises an eyebrow at you, like kind of like,
And,
was that meant to be a joke?
I'm like,
Yeah, I'll tell you,
yeah. Then
not
I'm like,
very
I start
bright.
laughing. I start
Not
laughing like
very
I said.
bright.
I start chuckling.
He goes invisible again.
For fuck's
Right.
Stop
sake!
scaring
Stop
people,
going invisible.
Androd.
And you can see as well, he's got like steel pots and shit. He's got rope if you need rope. He has like gems. He has a few gems here and there. What else? Like, he's got some adventuring gear. He's got like bedrolls and shit.
Is there anything that could be considered magical?
Oh, wait. Let's keep him talking. I'm gonna cast detect magic as a ritual, so I start like
Is that-
praying and concentrate while they're talking.
Wait. It's ritual casting, not 10 minutes.
Yeah. So keep him
Okay.
talking.
So you just like stand there and you start making hand signs, and like,
Yeah, I'll tell them to keep him talking, and I just tell the dwarf, sorry, I need to pray. It's the
okay,
time.
are you trying to do it like casually, or are you
No,
trying
no, I
to?
tell the dwarf, like, I need to pray my god,
making
and
a
then I
ritual
start
circle.
to...
Okay.
I sit down and I start to concentrate.
I'm like,
Okay.
sit.
Okay, sure. So he does. Well, you can't see him; he's invisible. But you just hear a voice. What's the point of your one doing? What's she doing?
She's praying to her god. It's her time of the day.
Wait, what? Wasn't he hell doing again?
Is it
I didn't hear that.
Casting
Just
detect
no.
magic is a ritual, which takes 10
No, wait, what's
minutes.
she doing, like, physically?
Oh, she's basically kind of like focusing
sitting
in a
on the floor.
meditative state, and like she's basically like, cutting air shapes and creating like sigils and stuff. She's having a rave. He says, "Oh, he says, no funny business." He says, "I'll alert the guards."
She's just sitting there, man. Don't worry.
Don't leave it that, she's not doing anything.
She'll be 10 minutes, then. Yeah.
She
You
will
know
be a
what, trust me.
predetermined amount of time that is completely not suspicious at all.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, how's business, mate?
Mhm.
We've got time to kill.
It becomes.
Ask him.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm like, I'll ask him like, can I? Well, how much for a bedroll, friend?
Make a persuasion check to try and like distract him from what's going on. He comes visible again, and he's staring at Nihal doing this. Uh, he just goes, no, no illusionary magic or anything. All sales are final.
I'm
Right, can
okay with
I get on this business as well and try to distract him?
Sure, what do you do?
I start speaking to him and I mention like, wait, is it still the same day?
Yeah,
Like, since last session.
it's been kind of a long day. You guys are getting pretty tired because you were traveling for some time before getting to Gracklstugh, and now it's been a good 4 hours or something since you like entered the
Oh,
city.
okay.
Since you've
So I was
entered the
gonna
city,
say,
so it's like, no, you've been traveling for. So it's been like 10 hours or something. It's been a 10-hour
fair
day
enough.
so far.
So I just kind of say to him, I'm like, so a few hours ago, there was a sort of halfling creature causing some ruckus here. Did you happen to see
Oh,
anything
he's a
about
wee shit. He's a little shit. He
What did he do?
snatches. He steals. And he
that? Can I roll,
ruins.
can I roll persuasion? See if I can get him distracted.
Ah, he seems distracted. You don't even
Alright,
have to roll
excellent.
persuasion.
Good.
He's obviously
Good stuff.
pissed off. He's just like, yeah. He is. He's. The old Daryl fuck. Someone should
That'll be
enslave
fun.
him.
it. And I'm just like,
Get him to work in the mines, like the rest of their kind.
I'm sure someone will do that, but do you happen to know anything about him? Like anything about where he resides?
Oh, he's a slippery little shit. He darts through here often, between the east of the docks and, I believe, the burrows, the furrows.
Alright, I see. Did he come here much?
Uh, He, he was invisible,
Just stop doing that. It's weird.
and then he's
Look.
just like,
Listen, sir, it's extremely hard to hold a conversation with you when you keep going invisible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm
Insight
perfectly
check.
visible.
Insight check.
You can't. He's invisible. You can't get a read. I'll say insight with disadvantage.
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you can't get a good read on him.
oh,
You don't know whether he believes himself or not, or if he's fucking with you. You're not sure. But he.
But regardless, what you may or may not be doing is extremely distracting.
Uh, he says, He says, I'm providing you with the best wares in all the city, and this is how you speak to me.
I mean, I just want a bedroll, dude. I thought we were having good business, you and me.
And then he says, fine, take your bedroll. I'll be. Let me just see. 1 gold piece.
My friend. And I flip the coin like in that direction last saw him. I'm like,
Yeah.
very hard bargain.
As before it hits the table, you see it like get snatched midair. And then it becomes visible as it's in his hand after he snatches it. At this point, I'll say, Nihal, you've finished your ritual successfully.
Yep.
Your eyes glaze over, and you look at all the wares.
Yep.
For the sake of mechanical reasons, as in like game mechanics, you notice that the chainmail is giving off a very faint aura. There's a couple of chainmails giving off faint auras, and there is. Let me see. I've got some shit written in here for the market. There's something. There's a couple of little auras behind the stall, where like below his waist, where you can't really see. It look like they're
Okay.
on some kind of shelf because they're kind of floating up middle.
Okay.
But other than that, oh, there's also a couple of battle axes giving off the same faint aura that the chainmail's giving off.
Hmm.
And you also see all the shit that's
Do-
on you guys glowing like you're all fucking Christmas trees, basically. Like you look to Epkiss, he's got a bunch of shit glowing on him. Isha, he's got a lot of stuff glowing on him. You know, Bosner's got some glowies, Zangrod's got some glowies.
Do I know what kind of magic?
You actually, I think Detect Magic does tell you the school of magic, maybe. Can you stick it in the chat?
I was
Motherfucker.
trying to read.
I've just noticed my fucking cloak gives me advantage to hide.
Yeah. Wait, what cloak do you have? Elven
Um,
kind.
yeah, cloak of it. It's basically a cloak of Elvenkind.
Yeah. Or is it a
With
droll
the hood on.
pivwafui?
A drow
Yeah.
Pawafi, yeah.
Yeah. You sense presence of magic. If you sense magic, you can see the faint aura that bears magic, and you'll learn at school. Okay. Fuck, I don't know what school that is.
What does it do?
Hmm. God damn it, now I need to look this up. So what are you looking at specifically?
The tree, and then the axes.
Okay. So the axes and the two battle axes and the two chainmails are enchantment school, and the two that you cannot see are abjuration.
Okay. Um. I guess Bosna can use axes.
I
Is it not?
can.
They're two-handed. Wait,
Nah, I
are
don't
battle
use
axes
axe.
two-handed, or is that a great
Yeah, I
axe?
think they are.
Well, it depends. I think you get one-handed battle axe.
Do. Yeah, they're not hand axes. They are essentially great axes, but
Oh, okay.
they're called battle axes because they're double-sided. So it might have some kind of benefit to it over a great axe.
So nobody can use it.
Oh wait, no, the battle axe is different. Oh shit.
No, I can definitely use it, but I like my hammer.
It's got a cool name.
Let's see.
I forgot that there's no Ironwear anymore. There wants anything that is magical.
A battle axe is a... Shit, it doesn't tell you. Oh, it can be one-handed or two-handed. You can two-hand it for
It's the
more
same
damage.
as a hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Except it's slashing instead of bludgeoning. Yeah, 5e has
Right.
kind of like boring weapons, to be honest. Whatever. But yeah, are you doing anything at the moment? Buying anything? Selling anything?
I'll whisper to Bosna that the axe is magical.
I suppose
Okay.
I'm not going to attempt to try and convince you that chainmail will be light armor.
Nope. It is either medium or heavy. It's heavy. Chainmail's heavy armor.
Yikes.
Yeah. You don't add your dex bonus to it. It just gives you like a flat AC essentially.
Gotcha.
But he does have some
Okay, so-
breastplate, which is medium. doesn't
I mean,
appear.
I can only wear light armor anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't. It doesn't look like he's got anything that you could wear. It doesn't appear dwarves are big on leather and, light armor in general. They're beefy lads.
But you're talking about the stuff that has is it abjuration magic?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
ask him, what do you
abjuration.
have behind there?
Yeah, I've got lots of things. What do you mean?
That thing, and then I found where I can see the thing glow.
He leans over and looks at where you're pointing and says, "That's the stall."
No, there's something else.
He looks at you kind of confused. He's like, "Oh, what do you want from me, woman?"
I want what you have behind there. Why is that?
And then he grabs a bunch of shit from behind and starts putting it out on the table. And you see the things giving off the light appear to be healing potions, and he also has vials of acid, what appears like in poison as well.
Yeah, I'll cop one of those healing potions if they're on offer.
Yeah, how much for a healing potion?
He says, important NPCs. This guy. Where the fuck is it? He says. Oh damn, that's expensive.
Oh damn, he says. I
He
will
says,
have it.
250 gold pieces each. And you guys
Whoa.
What
know,
was that? What was that
Whoa.
for exactly?
Greater healing potion.
yeah, you know they're greater healing
Yeah, they're
potions.
quite expensive.
You can tell. They're kind of like a pinkish color and in a bigger vial than usual.
Oh, like I ain't got enough coin for that.
And
Yeah,
he says, since you're buying daggers as well, you want some poison? You want someone dead, obviously.
How much? Well, depends on what you pay. Would have to pay for that.
This is the finest drow poison there is.
Hmm.
Traded
I'll
in
be
from
the judge
Menzel
of that.
Berenzin. You be the judge of that. Oh yeah, you're drow. Are you still wearing your mask? This whole time? Isha.
No,
Nah.
not what I was gonna say.
He says, the poison's 10 gold each.
How many vials has he got?
3.
I'm like, fuck,
He
dude, you're
says,
gonna.
he says, if ingested, this'll kill most people.
I'm like,
No guarantees.
I'm like, I'm like looking at a vial, and I'm like, so you're telling me this little bottle gets the job done on a person my size?
You slip it into a drink and you'd be dead.
You
What
wanna
if
try,
it
Angro?
was stabbed? What's it stabbed into them?
I don't know. Maybe. I haven't tested it out.
I mean,
Well,
we do have a druid.
I'll take 3.
Yeah, as a drow, Isha, and as a fighter, and as from your past, you know that your kind do coat this poison on like their weapons and use them in battle, and it does take effect, but it's not as lethal as ingesting it. And I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, and one time you got poisoned, but that was a different character.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, would I need an alchemy set to make poison?
Yo, what? Would an alchemist set make poison?
Yeah,
It
would I
could.
need one?
Yeah, you could get one.
I don't think druid are proficient with the alchemy set.
There was a yeah, you wouldn't add, basically you could use it, but you wouldn't add your proficiency modifier to it unless you learned how to use it. But you could still use it. It would just be a bit harder for you. But before you guys basically got into deep shit, you noticed there was a guy who was selling kits before in the bazaar some hours ago. He sold he sold carpenter's kits, leather workers kits, smith kits, alchemist kits, and some other stuff too.
No, but nobody wants my stuff.
A guy sold artisan tools essentially.
Actually, I might go back there actually, see if I can pick up a
Yeah.
leatherworking kit.
But anyway, I'll give him like 3 platinum coins. I'm like, sold.
Oh
You
shit!
can give him 3 platinum.
For
Well,
all of the
The
vials.
poison.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got that right. I've 1 platinum's 10 gold.
Yeah, 1 platinum's 10 gold.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So he's platinum, no, and he's takes it and trades with you, and then goes invisible.
And I'm like,
Getting
Um,
real sick of this invisible bullshit.
every time I give you money and you disappear, it makes me feel like I'm just giving my money away to a ghost.
Oh, what do you mean? I'm right here.
Of
Yeah,
course.
right there.
Speaking of ghosts, do you happen to know anything about the grey ghosts?
Our business has just concluded here. Go,
Oh,
leave,
come on now.
leave now. And he takes his healing potion, greater healing potions.
You son of a bitch!
You
I was
see
going to haggle him. Why did you mention that?
You see them, they disappear behind you see all the stuff on the table just gets pushed behind or pulled behind the stall. Yeah, leave now, or I'm calling the guards.
No,
There's
let's.
one right there.
Oh, I'm sure that's close by anyway.
I'm like, apologies, friend. Thank you for the business. We'll be on our way.
And then he doesn't reply. You get you feel a slight draft coming from his general vicinity, as if he's making gestures, but you can't see.
It's the classic thumbs up.
Sure.
And I'm like, and I like pull him over. I'm like, just because one tried to get assassinated by these great ghosts doesn't mean they're all going to be pally with the great ghosts. Like an Ebkis's ear.
All right. Yeah.
So, like,
He said ghosts. I was wondering.
so, like, what's the plan to find these grey ghosts? Or this little dwarf, no, not
That's
dwarf,
what-
midget thing.
Well,
We're
would-
gonna have to go to the other district.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to go back to the scene of Gracklstugh P.D.
Wait,
To
don't
see
we have
what-
little amulets, little badges? We're now actually Gracklstugh P.D.
I like, I just look at him like, I blankly stare at him, but like not because of my affliction.
I hit him on the head anyway.
I'm just like I'm like looking at him like Tony Stark did when he looked at Star Lord in Infinity War.
All right, you fucking nerd.
I like you just assume we all get exactly what it is, and we do.
I look at him like Star-Lord did in issue 213.
You know,
What was that one- what was that one called again?
Page 51, panel 2, Infinity War.
Shut up.
Right, so are we moving then?
Yes. Back to the dock we originally came to, where we met our friend.
Yeah, you don't have to
No,
go far.
well, let's go to the pub. And
I suppose we can always look at the crime scene later on.
mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how, like, if it'll be cordoned off or anything, or there'll be guards there.
Please tape.
Harmon, look.
The body's just still there in the water. The guards can give a fuck.
I'm gonna go look anyway.
Right, we'll go
And
there,
it-
then we'll go pub.
And as I'm going by Jordan, I want to look in the water to look for like a mask or something.
Okay. As you're walking by to go to the spire, I take it. So-
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk by the docks. Make a perception check. You're just glancing. You're not like going up and,
Yeah.
fishing around in the water.
Not looking suspicious.
You look into the water, and you actually see, not near the docks, a bit further out, some turbulence in the water, some rapid splashing around, but then it subsides after a couple of seconds. But other than that, you don't see anything like a mask or anything like that. You do see there are guards still at the pier, the docks just now, but that you can see, only a couple. Depending on how close you go, that's up to you guys.
No, if there's guards present, I'd advise against it.
Yeah.
They still. I mean, I'm not sure, but I don't think they know that we were involved yet. It's probably
You can
hubris.
always show them the badge.
Who the hell are
That's
you?
from your captain.
Who the hell
I
are you?
am-
Gracklstugh P.D.
I'm going to
have
use
a
a charge of the Jameson, Jordan.
Okay, so you pull out your monocle and a stick.
And I'm going to look where I saw the water moving.
Okay. It gives true sight, right?
120 feet.
Okay, you also notice there's three other guards on the docks that you were checking out, invisible. And as you scan over to where you saw the movement, you see just below the water's surface, sort of along a bit further out from the coastline, I guess you'd call it, there are like several. Make a perception check with advantage, actually. Make you work for it.
No, please.
Okay. You see several, you're not sure what size, but dark silhouettes darting around the edge of the coast, a bit further out. And you notice
Can
as
I
well,
make-
there aren't many, like there were a bunch of shoddy barges on the piers, sort of in the docks, but there didn't seem to be almost any trading going on at all, apart from that one gentleman you guys saved who seemed to be unloading something.
So nobody wants to buy my stuff here.
Get over it, no. Recycle
I wanted to tidy up in here.
it.
You could have sold your stuff to that guy if you wanted to, but...
I don't think
No,
it
you
would have
didn't
though.
want it. You just throw it back
Yeah.
and spit
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
yeah, your scimitar, he wasn't pleased with that.
I think that with the
Yeah.
javelin is going to be the same thing.
Can I make out the direction those silhouettes are moving, Jordan?
Oh, they're random almost, darting all over the place. It's hard for you to even train on them because you have to, basically you've got like a monocle, so you got like one eye
Can I
closed,
go?
and you're like
Can I
training
go
your head
behind-
left and right.
Can I go behind Angrod and just say, "What are you looking at?" And look at what is looking.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why don't you have a look over there? And I like point the monitor, like the Jameson,
Mhm.
like
I
a.
don't need that.
That's the kids. I'm using it as like a guide.
The
Like not
detectives
actually
are on the
making.
case. Okay.
Like how a teacher would point at a blackboard with a stick. That's how I'm doing it. I'm like, if you look over there, and I like pour like to my side. I'm like, see the movement in the water.
Yeah, I have 120 feet of dark vision, so I should see something.
All right, Miss, I can see the fucking people doing kinky shit in the dark.
Wait, but hang on. So
Yeah,
you've
actually I can.
got a seeing glass on a stick.
Yeah, aren't you jealous?
It's a fucking magnifying glass. This is a police drama. God damn it.
Yeah, you guys are detectives.
Took you long enough, man.
Oh, just found an escaped locust. One sec. Oh, come here, you shit. Never mind.
Oh, like police.
He got away.
chiefs.
Fuck it.
We'll start the
Yeah.
rebellion.
Yeah. So you look over, make a perception check. Yeah, you actually close your eyes and you let the robe eyes open up and they start darting around and
And I'm just like,
focusing
this
in
is
the
freaky.
direction. And you see, yeah, beneath the surface, They look, because you got a better roll, quite a good roll. They look fish-like, almost like stingrays or something, and they seem to be rapidly darting around, and you get a glimpse of what looks like a limb being torn asunder under the water, just below the surface.
And the guards are still looking at us.
The ones invisible are definitely keeping an eye on you. The other ones are
Yeah.
kind of looking around the docks and the coastline, like closer in.
How far are the invisible guys?
They're like 60 feet away.
Okay. Too much to walk and ask if I can throw a work leg in the lake.
You can do that if you want. You can do it if you want.
Yeah, and then they stab me. No, it's fine.
I never said that, but you can walk up to them if you want.
No, it's fine.
Alright.
I don't think they know that we can see them, so I think we should keep that
You
apart.
Well,
can't see them.
Only Nihao can, and
Yeah.
Angrod
Well,
with
no,
the
I mean-
seeing eyeglass can.
And yeah, for a brief moment, Angrod.
3 times a day.
Hey, how long does it last? A minute? Is it an hour?
No,
Well, I
it's
mean,
not. 10 minutes.
10
10 minutes.
Aren't we aware that they can see them though?
Yeah, I've told
If
you.
they
Yeah.
tell you, yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, well, I told you when we entered, and then of course they're following us.
I'm just like.
Angry,
just-
just looking in the distance.
Yeah, Angrod just freezes.
Get me to church.
Actually, Angrod freezes and looks into the distance. And does
Excellent.
seeing eyeglasses goes down at his side.
Okay, so I give him a pat in the back and I say, "Let's go."
Yeah. Oh, you snap him out of it.
Oh. Did that stop again?
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
But I like this that I can slap you whenever I want, so it's fine.
That's
Take
what
1
I'm
point of
not
damage. No, I'm just kidding.
Try doing the
Oh,
stick, it's much more funny.
I'm like, I put like the gem of seeing back in my like my armor and that, and I'm like, okay, well, it looks like the guards, the Crown's guard, have the incident we saw earlier sorted.
Yeah, you have to watch with the gem because you don't really have anywhere to put it because it's kind of like a long
Yeah.
pole. You have to have it strapped to you, almost like strapped to your back.
Yeah.
So
Snake's the Thor's toy.
it does gain some attention every now and again when you guys have like
Oh,
flash items
Use
out in
it
the
as a
open.
walking stick.
It's not that long.
It's not that
Gandalf.
long. It's not.
Gandalf style.
Maybe if you're a Darrow or a halfling or something, you could use it as a walking stick.
And I'm like, let's head to the spire, retire for the night. Or
Retire
day.
in the
So let's see
spire.
if I
Or
can
afternoon.
If we can find any place.
But that's what I mean, we're going to go to the Shard Spire, which is a pub.
Your
Fair
favourite?
enough. Fair enough.
Alright, so you
Yeah,
guys.
it's my favourite.
Yeah, we go.
Alcoholism. Alright.
Somebody say my name.
Here
It's sad.
we go. So, as you walk towards this lonely stalagmite out on an island, you see it juts out from the dark lake about sort of 40 feet-ish from the shore. And this stalagmite forms just a foundation of this tavern, which is built with sort of fungi stalks, kind of like a log cabin, but with circwood. Like the forest trees, the one that basically picked up Angrod and put him down when he was climbing on top of it. Oh, it looks like it's made from those. And there's a bridge made from these kind of logs with wool kind of coating the top of it, leading over onto the spire itself. As you come over and come up the stairs carved into the foundation of the stalagmite, and open the door, almost like cowboys coming into the local saloon. You walk in, and as you do, everyone stops what they're doing and like looks at you for a few seconds, and then continues on with their business. And by everyone, it's not super busy. You see there are mostly other Durgar, and some of them seem to be staring. There's about 3 or 4 kind of groups, small groups of Durgar. Um, there's one alone, and you notice, you recognize him as the man you saved earlier, wears Salt Baron, and he sat there with several mugs around this table, but he sat alone drinking one, and he looks at you all, and like locks eyes, and
I'll go over.
Oh, he's going to be fucking useless, isn't he?
yeah, as you come over, he says, "The fuck took you so long? I thought Ale's waiting for you. Did the
And I
guards
look
catch you?"
Yes, but not for that.
Ish.
Not for that though.
He
Can
said,
I like do a perception check at the mugs to see if there's anything left in them?
yeah, go ahead. You don't know.
What
You-
mugs?
You
There's no
get
mugs.
you get some dust in your eye, like and start itching. In fact, no, you stare off into the distance.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Stick, head, bonk.
Yeah, you get bonked in the head,
Ow.
and you forgot what you were just doing a second ago.
What were we doing just a second ago?
Right, can I look in the fucking and see if there's anything left in the mugs?
Please do.
You look in the mugs, and they do have ales or something in them,
Or,
some liquid.
oh, in that case, it saves me going to get a drink. I'm just going to sit down and
Yeah,
What up?
you start drinking, guys. I'll follow you in 10 minutes.
So
Just because, like, you'll experience something is going wrong.
because you sip it and it tastes stale, like flat.
oh well.
And he says, well, what happened then? If the guards never caught you, I'd be waiting here for an hour plus.
Aye. You want a wee story then? What happened? We left.
You know what? Spare me the details. It's fine. Were you followed? That's the important
There's
thing.
stone giants. There's
What?
stone giants in the story. You
What
seen the stone giants?
are you talking about?
Just
We
leave
got
it
mixed up with
somewhere.
some stone giants. Had to go talk to the guard about something. Now we're here. I spared you the details.
It's fine, it's irrelevant.
Sure, whatever. Right, were you followed?
Pretty sure we're not followed. I mean,
I kind of lean over to
we followed anyone?
Bosner and I'm like, I'm not too sure about that.
Hopefully we weren't followed. Why would they follow us?
Well, we got told we've been being followed the whole time we're here.
Oh yeah.
He says,
Nihal, can you see the invisible ones?
Yeah,
Were we followed?
yeah.
We were followed.
But
they
I
any-
must say,
What?
they're
He
nice.
said,
They stay
who were you followed by?
guards.
Might have been the guard.
Oh, the guards are fine. It's not them I'm worried about.
Oh, then that's fine.
I lower my voice and kind of lean over and I'm like, do you mean the Grey Ghost?
Are they?
Yeah, shh, keep it down, keep it down. Yeah,
Are the guys
we
in the
can't
pub?
trust anyone in here.
You know, our 2 bodyguards, are they in the pub?
No. Doesn't appear so.
So I guess that they just keep watch outside.
They're probably just keeping an eye on us. They're not really doing anything like intrusive. So I'm still leaning over, so I say to them, it's fine, we can hold our own. What happened? Why did they attack you?
he says, there's, let's just say, there's not much trade going on in the city these days, and I've gotten a hold of some interesting items, and I don't know how, but that group of people must have caught wind of it, and it seems they want what I have.
Something worth killing you over.
Well, I trade in very valuable items.
Like what?
Uh, He says... make a persuasion
trying to
check.
We're trying to get to the bottom of this, so any information you have, maybe the better. Oops. Press it twice. Oh well. Let's do the first one.
Yeah, sure, one sec. Boom. 18. He says, listen, I don't know too much about the organisation, but they're shady folks, and they have been more and more brazen over the last couple of months, and it's been strange times in the city. Yeah. I've been outside the city, travelling with wares for the most part, but I come back to this, and my life is in danger apparently, so I like to keep a low profile.
I see.
He says, listen, take this for your help, and he hands over he gives each of you a gemstone, an obsidian gemstone.
Oh shit! Nice.
And he says, they're each worth 100 gold pieces, and you each get one.
I'll put it in my bag of holding.
I just quickly kind of pocket it.
Yeah. There's more where that came from, and that leads me on to... and he also hands you... He says, since you're clearly new here, and surface dwellers, and I'm a trader, and I have some spare, I can give you this. And he hands you a map.
Oh, brilliant.
A map of the city.
That's coming to be very useful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll give you all permission to use it. Can be used by all players. Boop. There you go.
Yeah.
And he says, I have a proposal for you.
Do tell.
Yeah.
He says, I have a job that needs done. I'm going to lie low for a while, but I need something more accurately, a sack of gemstones delivered to a man in Blingdenstone. No questions asked.
Right.
His name is Kazook Pickshine, and he's a Darrow man, and that's all you can know for the time being. It's up to you whether you want to take this on or not, but it needs done, and I'm not doing it for the time being. But
What's
you
his name?
could...
Kazook.
Kazook.
Where is the place?
Blingdenstone.
Blindstone.
Yeah, where is it?
He says, roughly northeast of here. It's a city of mainly Darrow and some deep gnomes and such.
Also, it's outside of Gracklstugh.
Yes.
Alright. Easy enough.
Is it the city that we came across before? The Zero city or whatever. Where they have their weird gods and stuff.
Nah, that was not a city. That was like a village at best, if you're lucky. It's like a bunch of
Okay.
makeshift hovels and stuff. I think you have Blingden Stone on your map, maybe? Like your-
Yeah, Blinding's still on it. It's next to Raj.
Yeah, there you go. Fuck, I don't know where I put my map. Handouts,
Oh,
I
for
guess.
fuck's sake, it's far. We're not
Yeah.
going this. We're
Yeah,
not
forget.
going that way.
Unless we can fucking cross the Dark Lake. I don't see the point in going there yet.
And I'm
No.
like, no, not yet. Something fishy in the dark lake. I'm not a big fan of.
Lol.
At that moment, you hear a crash and a thud as you turn and see there's a fight going on between two of the Durgar patrons, and a table's been flipped and a mug's been cracked over one of the other's head, and they're starting to go at it.
Okay, I'll pay no attention to that, and I'll put some of the ale inside my trinket.
Inside your trinket.
Yeah, the talking one.
Danker.
Oh,
I
the
guess I'm just gonna kind of.
oh, wait, is this the talking one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
So you
you're-
pull it
you're-
out and you start
right.
putting drink into it. He's like, "Alright, mate. Cheers." And
Jeez.
he's like,
Cheese.
"Drink it out of me."
Angrod, would you like to try?
I mean, by
Did
on the
I
background,
percep-
you just hear
Did I
crash.
perceptively see this?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Are you?
Did I see you put this in? Because I feel like the bar fight would distract me.
Yeah, the barfight may distract you. I'd say make a
I'm just gonna
perception check.
yeah. I'm just kind of sitting there watching the bar fight to make sure it doesn't get out of hand and come over here.
Yeah.
While drinking.
You probably never noticed that the bar fight's distracting you too much.
Is that a good bar fight?
Like a
Well,
table got flipped, I imagine.
well, dude, one's like literally wailing on the other, and you see now that a couple of other Durgar patrons are, they're all like cursing out in Dwarvish and shit. Like,
I'm like, sure. I just take it.
yeah, without looking, you just put your hand out, and as you,
'Cause I just assume it's one of the jugs he's left on the table for us.
and as you start drinking it, you just hear coming from directly in front of you, the really bad accent, where it's just like, "Oh, I've longed for the feeling of one's lips."
I'm like, I'm just gonna go. And I'm
I'll
like,
take it back.
and I like, I throw it on the floor. I'm like,
No, give it back to me.
no, I throw it on the floor.
Pick it up.
Um,
I'm like wiping my tongue.
as you
like,
throw,
off my-
as you throw him on the floor, you're just like, "Ah, fuck! What's that for?"
Okay, I'll pick it up and I pour some more ale inside.
And he's just literally like making sounds of elation, just like, "Oh." At this point, the bar fight is getting a bit out of hand. One's literally wailing on top of the other, and a couple of the patrons step in and start like pulling them apart. And then after a couple moments of struggling, they both at the same time kind of just stop. And the patrons keep a hold of them for a second, and then they kind of have this like confused looks on their faces, and they're kind of looking around, and they push the people who are holding them, and then they both start walking back to the table they flipped, and then they're just like kind of look at each other, and then they pull the table back up, and then order another round.
There's
Alright.
somebody that is playing with minds here.
Yeah.
I turn back to Mr. Saltman. I'm like, that happen often?
Uh, I have no idea. I've been away.
Insight. Insight.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man. You can't tell. Seems honest. But yeah, he just says, "I've been out the city most of the time, but my brief time here, things have changed." The air is thick, thicker than usual.
Hmm.
He says, "So, will you deliver this for me or not?"
Sorry, not this time.
Very well. And he takes
Yeah. We're going south.
the bag of gems and pockets it back. And he says, "Well, if you're ever going in that direction, and you want some work for a large sum of gold, then be sure to find me first."
Wait a minute. Large sum of gold, you say?
Yes.
I pull
I see,
Boster
a man
to
of
the side.
business.
I pull Boster to the side. I'm like, remember why we're here?
I know why we're here.
It's your son.
Uh-huh. I don't need the gold.
I want the gold.
I don't want the gold, but anything that's worth a large sum of gold is worth something else.
Your son's freedom.
Mm-hmm. I think.
I pat him on the back. What you thinking?
Or at least enough information
Hmm.
to free him.
He definitely thought of that.
I'm pretty sure he's not in the city. I think, or at least nowhere near us. But I don't know where.
Well,
So we've declined the job. Is there anything else that we're saying?
You guys are off to the side when you're doing this, right?
Yeah.
and I ask him. I'll go back to Mr. Saltbar and I'm like, whispering
Mr. Saltman. What the fuck?
Mr. Saltbar. I can't remember his first name.
It is Mirs.
Moors, right? Any leads on those who shall not be spoken of?
I'm the last person to ask about that.
Smart man.
Who would be the first, do you think?
Well. Make a persuasion check. Couldn't help you there, friend. I want to stay far away from that.
One more thing.
Yes.
Did someone help me out here? I forgot the name of the fucking midget who like robs stalls.
Droki.
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 D-R-O-K-I. Droki.
Like Loki. But
D-R-O-K-I. Right, okay. So I'm just gonna, I'll look at him again and say to him, I've been hearing a lot of a certain halfling terrorizing stalls within the district. Droki. Do you know anything about him?
Oh, yes. That. Well, fuck it. Make a persuasion check as well. He doesn't. Okay. He says, since you did help me out the way you did, all I really know is he's been in the city for a while. He acts as a courier of sorts. He's always done private courier work, and I believe and he lowers his voice, and he says, works for the Council of Savants. If not, he is one of the members. And if the rumours are correct, there are about 7 or 8 members in the council.
I see.
This is
Either way,
good.
he works for them.
Well, thank you for the information.
Do you know anything more about the council?
Not much. They deal with Darrow issues. Nothing
Right.
I'm interested in.
Okay.
They speak for their kind. However, their kind are in servitude to my kind, for the most part. Everyone
Right.
but the council. They are a mad people.
Yeah. Okay.
Be wary when they're in groups.
So we've heard. Regardless, thank you for your help. Keep yourself safe.
You too, and if anyone asks, we never met.
Of course not. Alright, let's go.
Let's go. Are we staying here tonight? We're
Oh,
going
maybe
to
Roger.
Yes.
Not right now, but we're going to get a room. Or three.
You will need to, yeah.
Yeah, that's us.
I'm gonna finish my ale.
Yeah, it's stale as fuck. It's awful. It's like musky, earthy ale that's flat.
It's alcohol, I don't care.
Yeah, you probably just like just give me some of that juice. That's probably a good time for a wee break.
Yeah, we'll go bathroom.
Cool.
2 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, Twilight Princess is in GameStone quick.
Dude, Breath of the Wild's so fucking sick actually. I've been playing it.
Oh, I haven't played much yet, but I've enjoyed it.
Nick's in. Nick and Haley just got back from their interrailing holiday today. I just picked them up from the airport, and Nick came back and he wanted a shot of like Pokemon and Breath of the Wild, and he's like, "I'm buying a Switch. I'm buying it either the day or the morn." So I was like, "Okay, dude."
That an easy convinced man.
Yeah.
Weird people.
Same.
Should
Mate,
have gone. Should
You can play Mario.
You can play Mario Kart on the go and Smash Brothers on
Yeah.
the go, Shadow.
Dude, we had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should have came on New Year's. We had Mario Kart set up,
I heard.
bruh.
Okay,
Bruh.
let's look in Argos. See if they have Switch. On sale.
They do have Switch.
On sale though.
I don't know. It's a good console. Even though I'm not a big Nintendo, like I'm not a huge Nintendo fan, honestly, apart from Pokemon. But I usually buy Nintendo consoles just for Pokemon. But I've never played a Zelda in my life. But Breath of the Wild's fucking lit. Lit, fam.
Oh my god, this one comes with Fortnite skins.
Extra V-Bucks score! Yikes.
The most valuable cryptocurrency.
Well, apparently, Lyle bought a 1060 because his graphics card died.
Yeah.
And he got Fortnite skins with it, and he sold it for 40 quid.
Earn real money.
It's a nice level pyramid scheme.
Oh, see when I get to the bottom of this rum lemonade, it's bad.
What?
Yikes. Oh yeah, I've got a pint glass. One of the Hungarians, Adam, brought an unopened bottle of rum, and it didn't even get opened on New Year's, so I never had any gin left over, so I poured myself a pint of rum and cloudy lemonade, and it actually tastes decent to start with, but when you get to the bottom of it, it's like the rum sinks to the bottom.
Shake up a bit.
It's all cloudy, I can see it. It's like syrup. Tastes bad.
Let's see.
Chug it. If it goes down in one, that means you never have to do it again, Jordan.
Yikes, I finished it. I'm gonna get another beer back.
Okay.
What's poppin'?
My pussy.
You wish, bitch.
Oh, I wish I had a pussy.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Dungeon Master here.
Hey.
Crickets.
Like,
Here
comment,
to
and subscribe,
dungeon.
my dudes.
Is this for your Twitch stream, is it?
Where's all my Twitch subs, mate? What's going on?
Yeah, fuck you're streaming twitch.tv/Rocard, twitch.tv/Rocard.
Are you still doing that? Is that actually happening? I'm going to
Yeah,
check it now.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
online, dude. There's
So, yeah.
0 whole viewers.
Ah,
12
right.
followers, though, sir.
I followed you.
Follow.
I literally have an
Fix his
old...
ass.
I have a YouTube channel, right, I made 2 years ago. I made 2 Tekken 7 videos and got like 1,000 subs from like 2 videos. And we still have like 0 fucking people like watching this. Been doing it for like a year.
To
Got
be
one
fair,
viewer.
it's because we're shit. But you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's,
I mean, yeah,
it's just a meme. It's
Yeah.
just for the memes, mate. And also it's good having like an archive of all our shit online.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Unless
I
like
mean, the
we
world-
say something and we might get arrested, I don't know.
Oh, fuck yeah.
As
I mean,
long
the
as we're
world's
not
lost.
breaking
They're
to you.
missing out on fucking Gracklstugh P.D. The
God.
hottest detective drama in D&D history.
Yeah.
Hey, there's 2 people watching.
That was unintended. It's because you guys just tuned in.
Yeah, one of them's me.
we've had a few randos in, and I've never noticed that they say something in chat until the end of the stream, because I don't pay attention. It's happened
That's
a
why
few
we don't have
times.
anyone sticking in.
I invited my girlfriend to watch for a bit. I think she gave it 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not for normies. Oh
I
shit.
remember
Yeah.
one of my first night shifts when you done like the one shot with Matt. I remember I was sitting listening to it, and I was just man. He was just like, I don't know, man.
He literally made Legolas as his character, and his name was
Yeah.
Golas. The
More
Elven
like
Ranger.
Golas.
Legolas is the
But
other
at
one.
least he wasn't playing a dwarf who just goes, "Alright, laddie." you guys should have seen our old D&D group where Al was in the GM.
Oh my
It was
God.
Lyle. It was the first time we all played D&D, and Matt was. In fact, you, Matt, and Shaba, all 3 of you, man, social rejects. It was like, Matt froze up. Lyle was doing a voice of a female orc, not even impersonating it, just like, oh yeah, there's a female half orc, and then Matt goes up and it's like, alright, lassie, and then she's just like, hey, and he's just like repeats himself over and over, like, and we all burst out laughing, like, Matt, you can't even talk to made up internet orc girls voiced by Lyle.
What was it? Who was the guy in The Big Bang Theory.
Sheldon, Raj.
Yeah, Raj, can I speak to
Yeah,
women?
yeah, it was like that, dude. He just.
Does he not have a dream when he tries to speak to women? He can't even speak to them in the fucking dream. It's like, oh
Wow.
god.
He can do that if
Literally,
he's
not even in your
drunk.
dream.
Mm. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was the meme group, if there ever there was one.
I go to pat the horse.
Oh yeah, we were just. Let's not get into it. It's not.
No one asked. No one asked, man. No one asked.
Yeah, yeah. I just found it
Well,
funny.
trust me, this one you would have loved to have watched and cringed to.
Oh yeah, I think that would have got viewers just for how bad we were. All of
Yeah.
us were so bad, but it made it pretty entertaining.
Fucking God bless.
Yeah, dog blasted. Let's go.
Gracklstugh.
What? Alright, so a bar fight breaks out. You guys don't get involved. Seems a bit off. Something's going on, maybe. What are you all up to now? You're just in the tavern. You can see the mayor's is getting a bit like, you know, you guys are done talking. He's not interested in exchanging words anymore. So what you all up to?
I'm like, I'll go out to the bar.
Ask her room.
You see a
And I'll,
Duergar barman behind.
And I'm like, any rooms going?
Dude,
He goes, in common.
Yeah.
He just looks at you and just continues.
I don't know
and
where
then someone calls
Bosnar.
out in Dwarvish, and like he goes and accommodates them and gets them a drink. So you have to
Oh,
wait
right,
for him to come
Bosnar.
back.
Bosnar, help.
Bosnar.
You use your helmet.
He's not wearing it.
I'm not wearing it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just go up to them, alright, while they...
It looks fucking dumb. That's why. The helmet
Yeah,
looks
but you
hideous.
have one
It's like-
thing that can help you to understand other people.
It's
and
like
you're not wearing
Ant-Man's.
it.
It's like Ant-Man's helmet.
Yeah, it's worse than that, man. It's like the fucking fly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got two horn holes in it as well, where Armbeer used to wear it. He
Exactly.
just kind of
It
like
makes people-
punctured it.
There's no point wearing a helmet that's going to deter people from talking to me. Right, I'll call him
not
Bosnar.
like-
I summon Bosnar.
I come
I'm
across
like,
it.
Bosnar,
You are.
you need to talk to them. They don't understand common.
No, they just don't want to talk to you, you dafty. Go away.
All right,
I turn to the guy and
just
say,
get rooms.
in Dwarvish, we need some rooms tonight. How much you charge?
He just looks at you and goes, "No, we don't
As a
do
child.
rooms for your kind."
Alright then. I leave.
And then he spits on the ground as you like
We are
turn.
not welcome here.
But what did he say?
I said, fuck
Oh,
off.
shit. I'm not prepared.
That's not fair.
He told us to fuck off in no uncertain terms. We should probably find a different pub.
Right, I'll go over to Moores
Yeah, and you can
and ask him
yeah.
who's going to actually give us a room for the night.
Well, no, he said before there was like Galbara's lair or some shit. I don't fucking know. He did mention another one before.
He he affirms your suspicion about that, and he says, yeah, the only establishment that'll give you beds for the night will be Goldbrawn's lair. You'll find it underneath the bazaar.
Okay,
Okay, let's go.
cheers.
Let's go there. And then
Yeah.
is the church near that, Jordan? Or is that like
Yeah, the churches, or the temple of Luduguer, or whatever, I forget how I said it, but it's like spelt weird.
Same place,
Ladu, that doesn't matter. But yeah, it's just outside the Bazaar district. The Blade Bazaar.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not the district, it's not a district, it's just the Blade Bazaar is within the Dark Lake district. So
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's called the Blade Bazaar for a reason. You notice a lot of the merchants sell weapons and stuff. It's a very weapon and armor heavy mercantile place. You can almost get anything, it seems, in terms of weapons.
Right. But, right, I'm like, well, let's go to this place underneath the bazaar.
Sure. So, you guys leave,
Yeah.
and as you're heading out, two guards, as you cross the bridge, stop you as you're still on the bridge and they're on the other end. They cut the phase visible now before you, as they were invisible before. You would have seen them before, Nihal. So,
Yeah.
if there's anything you wanted to do, as you walk up, but you can see they're standing there, almost in wait for you guys approaching.
No. Just talk to them,
Okay.
I guess.
So you guys approach and they phase visible, and
I flash my badge.
instantly, before they even start talking,
Gracklstugh P.D.
yeah, you flash it, and one of their mouths literally just begins opening,
Oh.
and he takes a breath in and he looks at it, and then he says, "Let me see that," and he puts his hand out.
I show him it.
Do you not put it in his hand?
Okay, I put it in his hand.
All right, you
I
put
think
the
about it for a second and I was like,
yeah, you just hesitate.
alright.
But you put the trinket in his hand, and he kind of feels the weight of it, throws it up and down a bit, and has a look. And he hands it back to you, and says, "No trouble." And then
Nice.
they go back invisible, and then start. You hear the footsteps walking off a bit. They take like a few steps to the side, and you guys
Let's
continue
go.
on your way. So you head towards the Blade Bazaar. And you notice at this point the streets are extra dead. There's almost no one wandering the streets. Never mind anyone, any other races besides Durgar. And even at the Blade Bazaar itself, there's like you see the merchants are kind of like packing up and stuff, and getting ready to close shop. Eventually, you go round to the eastern side of the bazaar, and you see a almost like a cave burrowed within like a column, uh, and it's pretty dark, but you all have dark vision, and you see down. There's some like stairs leading downwards. And above it is a sign which says in Dwarvish, Golbrorn's Lair, which you know, uh, Bosner, fucking brain fart, that Golbrorn means bullet in Dwarvish, and a bullet is a burrowing, large, almost like an armadillo-looking creature. In fact, those of you who played the first one-shot I did when we got Jidda into the campaign, the bullet was the thing that straight up murdered Andrew's character that time.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bullet. It's like a really
Feels bad,
large armadillo creature with big claws and it burrows.
Oh,
F.
But you would know that, only Bosner would know that. Because it's like a dwarven thing.
Okay. We go down there.
Right, on you go. Okay, so you head down the stairs, and you see this inn is built inside this small cavern complex beneath the bazaar, and its halls as you walk down are cold and damp, and there's like a dripping noise in the background that permeates the halls, creating like an echo. As you walk in, there's a central chamber, which you see looks like a dining room, or supposed to look like a dining room, but it's very ghetto. And branching out from it, you see there's sort of different twisting halls, and you can see, like sort of looking around, there appears to be doors at the end of each of these gently twisting and winding short tunnels. It's dark, it's cramped, uncomfortable, but you look around and you see it's mostly dead, but there's a couple of other characters in here. There's a half orc and also a regular dwarf here, and they're just kind of like sat at the dining tables having like a really terrible meal and drinking. And
Just
at
like
the
a-
end, there's also a bar, essentially. Very shoddy looking bar. Doesn't look like they have a large selection. And the Durgar's the behind the.
Behind
behind the
counter.
bar.
Yeah.
I'll wander over, take a gold coin out, tap it onto the bar.
Yeah. He saunters over. He looks like he was busy with like cleaning some dishes or something, or washing a glass, and he walks over to you.
Say, you got rooms in Dwarvish.
He kind of looks over your shoulder to the rest of the party behind you, and he
We
says
pay gold.
he says in common, "Yes, we have rooms. If you have the coin." And he looks at your gold coin and he says, "Are they with you?"
Mm-hmm.
He says, wait, so there's you, 1, 2, so there's 5 of you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get 3 rooms.
Yeah, I guess 2 rooms.
Yeah, I'd say 2 rooms,
rooms.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's not gonna be most comfortable, probably, but if you ask for 2 rooms, he says,
Well, Ika doesn't need a lot.
he
Yeah.
says, he says you'll need 10 more of those for 2 rooms.
Bring out 12 more, and I say, and a few rounds as well.
And he gives you a nod, and he takes the gold, walks back, hands a couple of keys to you, and he points you to the 2 rooms. There's like one on one side, one on the opposite side. If you had like to choose like east and west, and there are like I said, small tunnels which burrow into these like sort of doorways, these wooden doors, and yeah, there's just like a shitty atmosphere. It's dead. There's just dripping. It's damp, cold, just not comfortable in the slightest. It's not exactly big either. But yeah, he does that and he starts pouring just ales, and he hands you a bunch of wooden tankards, very shoddily made.
Slange. There we go.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Is the ale better than the one in the Shattered Spire? I need to know this.
Hmm. It's about the same, to be honest.
It's less flat. But
It's not. It's not as flat, so it's better. Yeah, there's that. But overall, it's very samey, very musky. There's like a mushroom tinge to it. Almost like it's fermented mushrooms as a part of the process.
Mm.
Mushrooms.
Not very good in general. And then
You
you have
should like this.
you have
Angro.
flashbacks to
Vietnam.
Neverlight.
I can shut
Vietnam,
that one.
boy.
Yeah, Angro tastes it, and it instantly reminds. And Angro Nipkiss kind of reminds you of the food from Neverlight.
I'm just
keep
gonna.
drinking it with a frown. He's like, "Meh."
So, man. But while we're doing that, Jordan, I want to look for someone a bit shady.
There's
There's
2
literally 2
people.
people.
Someone a bit shady. I mean, there's only 2 other patrons in here at the moment. A half orc and a dwarf, and the half orc is female.
Oh, that's a laddie.
That's alright, laddie. I swear it's a coincidence. And the dwarf is a male, and he looks The dwarf is like a stout, red-headed dwarf with like sort of scraggly beard, very unkempt hair. Doesn't look exactly rich, and is wearing kind of leathers, studded leathers and stuff. It
I'll
does.
whisper to Bosna, is that your son?
It's not your son. But he's
It
got like
could
a hand
be, though,
axe.
if the right
He's got
adoption
like a hand
paper.
axe at his side, and he's just sitting there nursing his terrible ale and trying to finish off some meal that he's eaten. And yeah, the female half orc is sort of in a similar vein. They look miserable.
Bright in their day, and I put two gold pieces down, and I'm like, get him around. Those two miserable fools.
He says, "Get a few
Tell
rounds
them
with
it's on my
that."
house.
He says, "All right, you're you're one paying, so fair enough." And then he starts pouring the ales, and he basically just calls over to them. He just goes like, "Oi!" And they look over, and he just raises them and puts them on. He doesn't like bring it over to them. He just puts them on the bar, and he just goes back to his own business. And they the dwarf gets up, not immediately, but you know, after a second, he finishes off the food that he's chewing. He stands up and goes over and picks a cup up, and then looks to all of you who have you guys like taken a seat or anything?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down drinking.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah.
a few sort of rectangular tables, of which the other two have got one to themselves, and you guys kind of cramped up, occupied the last one. And he looks to you all with the cup, and he kind of raises it a bit and gives a bit of a nod, realizing
Return the
obviously,
gesture.
and brings it back to his table. And then the orc doesn't flinch, just continues granning.
So he's just
Up.
still sitting there on the bar top.
One of them are, yeah. The dwarf looked, and then went back to her meal.
I guess I'm just gonna stand up, go walk over, grab it, and like put it down next to the half orc, then go back to my table.
Yeah, sure. So you put it down next to her, and uh, without turning her head, her eyes kind of dart up to meet you as she notices you're obviously the cup slammed down on the table. Not slam, placed down gingerly on the table. Her eyes dart up for half a second at you, then she continues chewing on what looks like some kind of drumstick or chicken leg, but not. It's bigger, and you're not sure what the fuck that is.
Dwarf leg.
Turkey.
It's not a fucking humanoid leg. It's some kind of poultry, maybe?
Giant chicken leg.
Folk horror.
Chicken man's leg.
Frank!
Michal, pull out the orc leg. Assert dominance.
No, don't.
Start munching on the orc leg.
You want me to do it?
No!
Slap her in the face with the orc leg.
No!
If they start, yeah, bust out the leg, but we can wait. Let's not escalate.
There's nothing to escalate, we're being nice patrons.
I know.
Anything we need to escalate is our kindness.
Okay, but I'm ready to think of the orc leg.
Keep the orc leg on standby.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep my eye on the dwarf, Jordan.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You're
wait
just
until
watching him?
he's- Just until he's... Like, just for the night until he's, like, wrecked.
Right.
Like, don't stare at him.
Yeah,
I'm
you're just
gonna
like
stare.
burning a hole into the front of his head because he doesn't have his back turned to you.
At times, I'm just staring off into the distance because of my affliction.
Yeah,
but-
sometimes
oh,
you're just like, you're just kind of staring but not staring. It's weird. It's like you're just vacant. And then one of your party members will give you a bop. Probably Ibkus.
Yeah, I've kind of developed the habit of just being next to him so I can just like kind of smack him.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to fix him. I like to slap him randomly.
No! This is not fair. You all tried to fix Frank, and now when I want fixed, you didn't want to fix me.
It's all fun and games till you're mid-combat.
Oh well,
That
then
should
he's gonna
figure it.
die.
Not if I get fixed.
How would that even work? Would it
I
just
don't
be
want to
like-
find. Let's not find out, right? Right.
I think he loses a turn.
Well, hopefully we don't have to
Yeah, you'll just have to wait and see.
find out.
Hasn't happened
Let's
yet.
get into a fight.
No, let's not start a fight.
Oh, yikes.
No,
Well,
okay.
anyway, he's always getting possessed or he's passing out during fights, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I'm just gonna keep drinking.
Okay. You keep drinking. How many do you keep drinking?
Oh, if I finish, I wait a bit and we'll get another one.
Yeah, I mean, there's when the barman sees that you approach, he preemptively starts pouring because some drinks have been paid for already. Just make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh shit! I've only had one.
If you keep going, if it depends when are you stopping here.
This is just my second. I'm just gonna create another one.
Yeah,
Come
just make a low DC con save. It's pretty strong.
Nah, son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're fine. You're easy. Heavyweight over here. You're used to heavy drinking. This doesn't phase you much.
So just gonna get another one. I'm just gonna sit down.
Yeah.
I'll lean over to Bosner. What's thank you in Dwarvish?
Do you tell him or not?
Ignore.
Or do you?
Ignore.
That's it. Ah.
Oh, there you go. He sold you.
Alright.
Wait, does Bosner actually tell him, or does Bosner like just make something up?
No, I just say, yeah, I make it up, but I make it sound as if it's
Okay,
close to
okay.
Dwarfish.
Oh god.
There you go. He gives you some phlegmy noises, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
100% true.
I guess I'll kind of gingerly say it.
To when you get another drink.
Yeah.
As he's putting the cup down, hand still clutching it, and you say that he was about to let go, but then his grip tightens and he pulls it back a bit.
And I burst out laughing.
I turned to Bosner and I'm like, what the fuck did you make me say, you dickhead?
Wasn't that bad.
And then he just kind of grunts behind the bar and just like sighs and lets go.
I said to him, like, what did I say?
Horse pish.
Fucks. Sorry.
I know, I like give him the helm. I offer for the helm of comprehend language. Like I could avoid all your issues ever again with dwarves.
No, you can't. Just because you can speak Dwarfish doesn't mean you have no issues with dwarves.
We all can't have a stick the size of Gracklstugh up our ass, Bosner.
Yeah, we can. Have you tried?
Don't want to.
I imagine you'd be good at it.
Oh, let's not talk about Angrod's nightlife. He's
Wait,
lonely. Leave him
Did I
alone.
go into that?
Please, let's not.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that to Angro, I was saying that to Bosner.
Let's not talk about Bosner's nightlife,
Please.
So,
please.
while we're
Let's
sitting
not.
here and they're drinking and talking, can I read the diary of the witch?
The hag,
Yeah.
Sure. You don't have much left to it, but you can give it a wee investigation check.
Oh.
You don't find anything too interesting, really. You just read more of the same thing, you know. You read she seems really spiteful towards her old coven, and, you know, they kicked her out for like her being deceitful, but she's making out like it was for the greater good, like the greater good of the coven, and it's never specified what exactly she did. She doesn't. So far, you haven't read why exactly, but she longs to be in another coven and wants to start her own one. It's kind of like a I'll start my own coven with hookers and blackjack type deal. So
I'm not a hooker. I
Okay.
don't like blackjack.
Well, you're going to be one of the hookers, so.
Vietnam flashbacks.
How's that dwarf handling his drinks, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, he's drinking. Make a fuck it, make a perception check. Since you're keeping an eye on him. And are you trying to be subtle about it?
Yeah.
Okay. He's not paying too much attention, so you won't have to make a check. But he is, he's going at a decent pace. He's, knocking one back. You can see he's finished off his meal. Then he goes up for another. So like the barman, he's not got much going on, so he can keep an eye on all of you. And every so often he sees his cups empty, so he'll pour another and stick it on the counter. And the door goes up, and he's happy to keep drinking. He's had like at this point he's going up for like his third that you guys have kind of paid for.
Fucking hell.
The orc lady hasn't touched hers, and she actually
Do I
stands.
see?
Yeah.
Do I see anybody else apart from them too?
No, it's a very small place. There's only enough room. Basically, come in. There's about 6, so 3 on each side, tunnels, which lead to rooms you would guess probably, and then you've got these 3 long-ish rectangular tables that are kind of crammed up together a bit, and the bar at the end it's like it's not big at all. Not
No, but I
much
mean
place.
invisible people.
Oh, no, you don't see anyone invisible hanging around.
Okay.
But at this point, the orcish lady, stands up and makes her way towards her room, directly behind her. She just stands up 180s and walks down a small, winding tunnel, and you hear like the clicking of the door, and then shut, and then those of you with high passive perception hear the clicking of a lock. You specifically, Nihal, would hear it. Maybe Isha. I don't know how good your wisdom is or perception.
I think it's one less than the
Yeah, you probably heard it too.
I've got 17.
Yeah, 17's pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, are you guys doing anything else?
Well, I'm still somewhat sober. I'm gonna pull out the book that Nihal gave me and have a quick scan.
Oh, the spell book.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check. Looking through it, a lot of arcane spells. Nothing from nothing from like divine magics. All this magic definitely seems arcane, and some of it looks like parchment bound to the book later on. The book's seen better days. It's kind of beaten and battered. It's not in great condition at all, and you notice a couple of the passages are written in some dark maroon, reddish ink? Question mark? Could be blood. You're not sure. But most of it's written in ink, and a lot of it is. I say a lot of it. A fair amount of it. With that check. Yeah, you see a fair amount of it is necromancy stuff.
Okay, I'm just gonna put that away.
I can't believe he hid this from us.
For later. At this point, the dwarf sits down next to you, Epkiss, and joins you all, crammed up in this table. He says, he just goes, "Cheers for the drinks," and you can see he looks kind of half cut. He's kind
Wait,
of
is the-
he's swaying a wee bit in his chair, and he puts his hand like round your back and over your left shoulder, and he kind of puts his weight on you a wee bit, and you get a whiff of his breath, and it's fucking stinking. Make a Constitution save.
What, me?
Yeah. Okay, it's like pickled, oniony, ale-ish, sour breath, and
If
you
any
like.
of ever had,
Woo!
has any of ever had onion cider?
No, what the fuck?
No, what the fuck?
I would rather gouge my own eyeballs out.
Yeah, you're probably better to, by the way. It's,
I mean, it sounds fucking vile.
Oh, yikes.
yeah.
Just drink vinegar, what the fuck?
That's the joke.
It tastes like vinegar. It tastes more like. It tastes like off cider with kind of onion.
lovely.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, this guy's brave. It's like someone
Drinking
put like
juice
big
from
dollops.
pickled onions.
Someone put a big dollops of mayonnaise and like ale and drank it all together, and it's just
Ugh.
gross. And you're like, whoa! You get a whiff, and you're like, oh, hold your breath for a second. And he kind of leans on you, and just breathes out, and goes, ah. He says, it's been a while since I've consumed this much alcohol. Thanks, friends. I'm a bit low in coin, so it's much appreciated. And he's a surface dwarf. He's not one of these Duragar cunts.
Ask him. Yeah, worker here.
Yes, you could say that. The name's Grok. He says, don't see much of your kind here, any of you.
Mm-hmm.
He says,
We don't really want to be here, but we are.
Scary times, friends, scary times.
While he's talking, like, is the orc didn't touch the mug, did you?
Nope, it's still there.
I'm just gonna go pick it up and bring it back.
Free drink! It's flat.
Oh, fuck.
So then, Grok, why are you here?
And he taps it, he gives you a wee coy smirk and taps his nose a couple times.
What shitey luck brought you all the way down here?
That's neat to know. But yeah,
You're not a slave.
you seem nice enough, so. And he's just he like drifts off for a second. He goes, "Oh right, I'm from this little place called Gauntlgrim. Have you heard of it?
Aye.
It's
We passed through there no long ago. Well, I'd say no long ago.
oh, how is the rebuilding getting on? Just kidding, don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't like me much there. So I had to take my business elsewhere. And that's so I'm here. And you can see he's a bit salty, but then he takes a big swig of his. In fact, he picks up the wrong cup. He picks up your cup that you just brought over from the orcs table, and he swigs that
Oh, no.
by accident. But
Oh,
you know, he swigs it.
oh god.
Am I gonna pick it up after, take a swig, and just kind of put it on the opposite side of me?
Oh, you're pleased.
It says, well, you know, shit's going down in the city right now. I don't know if you've heard.
No, we noticed things have been a bit odd.
He says, well, and he lowers his voice, that's why I'm down here. And he says, it's quite safe, quite defensible. if you know what I mean.
And I like leaning closer, like, what do you mean?
Well, story is, there's some strange hooded figures that come out in the late hours. Now, these people, the Duergar, they rarely sleep, but the city's awfully busy at that time, and these figures, I've been talking to other travellers now. There's not many these days, but apparently they are sacrificing people on the coast of the Dark Lake. Now, keep that to yourself. You never heard that from me.
Put my finger on the lips.
It might just be rumours, but never be too safe.
I'm like, secret safe with us,
And
Fred.
apparently this has only been going on for some weeks. It's fairly recent. And I believe the local guard are losing their shit, if you know what I mean.
I can imagine.
In Thieves' Cat, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see if it works again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
do-
I don't know if
you can
Thieves'
do-
Can is a spoken thing. I think it's a bunch of like signals you
could
can
be.
send, like
There's hand signals
taps.
and written
Yeah, it's like
symbols as well.
yeah. During your seemingly normal conversation. Oh, no. Yeah, it's like subliminal messages during conversation. So yeah. What do you?
And I said to him, know anything about any ghost stories? I heard there's some good ones around town.
Hmm. Uh, make a persuasion check. Gracklstugh P.D. Baby Rage. Fuck off.
Ready your badges, ready your badges.
He, as you're doing this, you're making like subtle tapping noises during it, with your like fingers on the table, almost like Morse code as you're talking. And I don't know if any of you would notice that. Maybe Nihal would notice, but the rest of you probably wouldn't. But he looks at you and kind of squints. And in Thieves' Cant, back, as he starts blethering shite to the rest of you about like how racist the Duergar are and how he's no welcome here even though he's like one of their kin, essentially, and they share like common ancestors. In Thieves' Cant, he says to you that there's trouble brewing between the keepers of the flame and the grey ghosts. And it's really haphazard. It's like, if Thieves' Cant had spelling mistakes and grammar errors, there would be them there. You kind of like have to really think and try and like piece some of it together. You're like, oh, that might be a mistake. But that's the general gist of what you get.
Just all lowercase, no spaces.
Yeah. Yeah.
The worst kind of misspelling
You
mistake.
know, full stops in the wrong places. You know, no
Right.
joining words.
Not a single fucking comma in sight.
Nope. But yeah,
And I'm like,
he tells
and
you
I'm like-
essentially that.
and in Thieves' Cant back, I, like, on the outside I was saying like, oh yeah, it's fucking terrible, mate. But I'm saying back to him like, where does a man like us go get work? In here.
During this, I kind of like nonchalantly, very kind of try to secretly peek at the barkeeper, see if he's kind of looking at us.
Okay. So Epkiss, make a perception check to see if the barkeep's paying any mind to you, and what is it you wanted to kind of get across there?
No, I just kind of,
Angrod.
I just want to try and look kind of. Alright, you mean that?
Yeah, I meant Angrod.
Like just about like, a man of roguish qualities would go to look for work in Gracklstugh.
Alright. He stops, like, he kind of stops swaying for a second, looks at you dead on, and he just kind of shakes his head a bit, and he says, in common, like you guys will hear this, he says, I wouldn't if I were you, friend, not right now. But the trade, he says in common, he kind of gives up on the thieves' can, and he realizes he's having a hard time with it, and he's just like, the merchants and tradesmen are having a rough time, so perhaps you can help with the shifting of items throughout the city, if that's something you're interested in.
And I say to him, I noticed some of them keep turning fucking invisible windows.
Ah, you said who keeps turning invisible?
Some of the the shopkeepers
Alright.
keep turning invisible.
He kind of just looks at you, like, in disbelief. Like,
And I'm just like, it's true. Saw it with our own eyes.
he just shrugs and says, weird shits, man, what's going on? Just, I wouldn't pay too much mind to it.
You know, but is the orc lady with you?
Wait, what?
Is the half orc with her? If you ask him, like,
He kind of grins and says, no, but she should be, am I right? And looks to the rest of you.
and I'm like, aye, laddie, aye.
He said, this guy gets it.
Just gonna
Death.
shake my head, keep drinking.
He says, death by snoo snoo, am I right?
Close his eyes, keeps drinking.
And I'm like, in Celestial, I just whisper, horrible death.
Hmm. And he kind of like slaps Ebkiss on the back as you like go up to lift the cup to your mouth, as the liquid's about to touch your lips, and you just like get slapped on the back as he's like laughing out heartily, and you kind of like spit up a wee bit, and it's quite irritating. But drunk people, when you're not as drunk, am I right?
Nice gonna chuckle.
And he says, anyway, boys, I'm probably gonna call it a night. And then he's like brings out his keys and starts fuddling around, and then he's like, he's squinting at them to see like which one's his room, and he's kind of looking around, and he's kind of like points to one, and then like shakes his head and points to another, and he's like, that one. It's like, enjoy the rest of your night, and he stands up, takes one last swig of. There's like dregs left in one of the mugs. He kind of like looks around, scans around, see one with dregs in it, takes a swig, gulps it down, and then walks towards his room.
Yep.
So if in this room alone, then I guess it's just a case of when do we go fucking to bed?
Well, I guess now we just need to decide who
Oh,
with who.
and Ebkiss with a perception check. The barman does not seem interested in you guys at all.
Alright.
And it doesn't seem like you've given him a reason to. You haven't been too loud, except your dwarven friend with his antics. And you get the idea that, you know, he's not interested in drunkards talking shit. And doesn't seem to, like, care about what you were talking about. So he's just kind of doing his own thing.
Fair enough. Good stuff.
You know. If he had like an Android or something, he'd be flicking through his social medias or something, not paying attention.
Feels bad, man.
For who goes in what room though? We can't leave fucking Angrod by himself.
Well, there's 5 of us and 2 rooms.
Wait,
Well,
why
I guess
not?
yeah,
I'm
agree.
curious.
Yeah, why not?
In case he gets fucking kidnapped again.
Probably.
Just lock the door.
And Grod's the boy of the party, the child.
He likes to get kidnapped and possessed.
I'm a real man.
Fine.
I'm a property. Right. No, I'm saying, well, we've only got two rooms to pick, so who's sharing with me? Alright, I guess I get a room to myself, guys. I'll just take one of the keys and I'll strut on
No.
over.
Sure.
Oh, wait, who?
Light Brothers forever. That's cool.
And I'm
Okay,
like,
so
let's go, Isha. Come with me.
Okay.
then
So
the three of us in the other one.
Okay, so you guys split up into twos. You go into the room. You open the doors. It is just big enough to fit like three of you in. There isn't like a. It's like a bed.
But Osner is more.
You have a bed and a bucket,
I have a bedroll.
and yeah, you guys will have to use your bedrolls here to like sleep on the floor. Who sleeps in the bed in each room?
I don't
Sure.
mind.
I'll
Isha
sleep
could
on the
take
floor.
bed.
I will, unless I get bed.
I can sleep on the floor as well, I guess. I have a bedroll. Hang on.
I have a
Actually,
bedroll. I'll
you
use my
got an
bedroll.
engineering pack of that you will
Okay, so who's in the beds?
Me.
Alright,
Me.
Bosner and
have.
Isha.
I'm on my bedroll, on my bed.
See,
Double
before
yeah.
we go to rest, Jordan, I want to inspect the daggers I bought earlier on.
Mhm.
Fucking daggers.
Okay.
Yeah, but how good are they? That's what I want to know. Mister, I can't tell what
Actually,
they are.
make an investigation check.
Oh,
It's rubber. You've been robbed.
Oh.
oh, please don't be robbed.
On each of the daggers, you find a well-placed mechanism within each of them, where there's a compartment, uh, where it looks like you can pour some kind of liquid into it,
Combos!
and on the tip, there is a tiny, minuscule, sort of ring around the tip of small holes, which it looks like a mechanism for specifically delivering some kind of anything. You could put any liquid in it, basically.
Health juice.
Yeah,
Beer.
maybe. But
It's
it
Maggie
looks.
first aid stabs him in the heart.
Yeah, instead of what it appears to be is, instead of coating like a weapon, which eventually will evaporate and, you know, after some time won't be like, if you pour poison or whatever onto the tip of a dagger, eventually after like I think it's like an hour, it expires. But if you put it into this compartment, it excretes when there's like an impact, and it's basically you can have it readied at any point, and it'll never sort of wear off once you've applied it within the dagger.
I like that.
So you could call the daggers. I don't really have a name for them, so just call them whatever the fuck you want. But you have three of them.
No, I've got two of them because I
Oh,
gave one
sorry,
to
you got
Eva.
two. Yeah, you got two.
Oh, you gave me one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you asked for one. I take it like
Oh,
they're
but
damaged.
you never said that you gave it to me.
Well, I implied it.
Yeah, and they're
You
kind
have
of
one.
they're kind of more like kunai than dagger almost, the way they're shaped. Like made for throwing, essentially.
Mm. Would the damage be the same as just a plain dagger?
Yeah, they aren't like
Cool. That's fine.
they are well made, but not like mastercrafted. They aren't like +1 or anything.
Yeah,
OP.
that's fine. I'm gonna just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Anything else anyone wants to do whilst they rest?
I want
know.
to check the bag of things.
Okay, what do you want to do with it?
I want to check if there is any
Any?
food or stuff that you can eat.
Okay, so. mhm,
Pulls out orc leg.
yeah. That's really subjective. Hmm. Not just orc leg, moldy orc leg, because it's not a bag of You guys actually have another bag, which is for preserving biological material, which Vizeran gave you,
Quick.
which was like a basically
Transfer.
fridge bag. I forget what it
Bag
was
of
called,
clothing.
but I think it is
Bag
called the
of
bag of
clothing.
clothing.
The leg in the fridge.
I
Put it
think
in the
that
fridge.
Aramvir
Oh.
had that one, and it was supposed to be for the blood of the demon.
Maybe.
I think so. And that if it's not inside the bag of holding, that's
Yeah, the bag's not inside the bag of holding. Yeah,
So-
unfortunately.
like gems or coins.
Okay, so you pull out gems. You actually pull out a specific gem. One, I believe Arnvir had this. Yeah, I think so. The gem that you guys received for helping the dudes in Mantle Dereth, the deep gnomes, you got a very intricate case, and inside was this black sapphire, and it was worth like 5,000 gold.
Holy shit.
5,000.
It was a lot.
God damn.
Shit.
Well,
Wow.
He was
you
called a
s-
Jew for a reason.
You sided with the deep gnomes, and they rewarded you for helping them out. You could have chose like 4 different people's sides there.
Oh yeah, so good. It was silly.
And
And gold wise, yeah, he kept his gold pouch separate, so you don't find any gold.
We stripped his shit away. We got all the gold in that now.
Maybe. I don't remember.
books. Is there any books or
Okay, who has
pergaments?
who took the grimoire? The grimoire's in there.
I think it was Angrod.
Did we not give it to Visaran?
Oh
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's-
you
Yeah,
did,
but
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think, what other books did he have?
He got a book from the thingy.
He took a book from Gromps, his Outer Sanctum, which was, you got the book on fiends and demons. Oh, he got a book on, oh, was that him? It was on like enchanting traps and wards.
Huh?
Yeah,
Sounds familiar.
yeah,
Enchanting traps and dwarfs.
wards. Like wards are like magical traps you can set by placing them on a surface, and like they trigger, like you can set their trigger, and like
So
like,
the dwarfs could fight
like
it.
you could create a fireball ward, for instance, where the trigger is if someone steps within this 5 by 5 feet circle, a fireball erupts, for instance. And it's that kind of book. It teaches you how to create those, and you guys know from experience, Gromp's Outer Sanctum was warded several times. So you fell for all of his wards, almost all of his traps.
Yeah.
Including
Can't
the
take another
trap
crack at reading that book.
which one? The spell book?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation. Yeah, go ahead. Or,
Oh,
yeah, investigation, I guess. Since you already rolled it, I'll be nice. You see in there's strange scribblings about a deity or some kind, and how Ironveer had documented strange dreams he was having where he would talk to this deity, and apparently it was some kind of god or creature obsessed with death and like the process of death itself, and carrying someone over to like the other side, so to speak.
Alright, I'm just gonna stop reading this.
And it actually doesn't sound familiar to you. Make a religion check. Fuck, now I need to do some stuff. God damn.
Reveal Chrissy's nature, son of a bitch.
Chaotic good.
Chaotic bait of evil.
Let's see. Fuck, I can't believe I actually have to look this up. It's
Take
been
Chris for this call right now.
yeah. There
Yeah,
it is.
well,
Okay, so a name comes up. A name comes up. And it catches your eye. It's only mentioned a couple times, and the name is Jergal. Jergal. Jer, and it's
Right.
I guess it said Jurgle. That's how you say it.
Right.
You know, it's a demigod and one of the lords of death who doesn't. He's not into killing people. He's more into keeping records of death and keeping it balanced. It's like a lawful deity rather than chaotic, very by the books. And there's some talk in Ironbeard's book about how there's kind of being like a resurgence of his worshippers, as apparently like this deity has been in remission for like thousands of years, basically, and now there's been an uptick in his worshippers, and he has an interest in Arnveer. Arnveer's not sure why, but there's even a point more recently. There's dates and stuff in it. You can tell it's been some months, but like 3 months ago, in game obviously, he was approached by other worshippers of Jurgle and handed a very special scroll which was clamped between the jaws of a skull, and you had to sign your name in blood on it to release the scroll, and apparently it was a very powerful spell to be used as a last resort, essentially.
Is it telling me this?
I don't know, that's up to him. It's up to
That's it?
Ebkis. He's sitting there reading in his corner, reading away.
So I'm just gonna note this all down. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll for the Jameson.
Wait, you're gonna roll for what?
How many charges I get back in the
Oh
Jameson.
yeah. Anything else? You guys get half your hit dice back. All your hit points, all your spell slots.
I also say to Edbus,
Oh,
before,
wait.
sorry, before we go to bed, I'm like, first things first in the morning, I'm going to church.
Yeah, I don't think that that's enough. Before we sleep, I want to concentrate and change some of my spells.
You want to concentrate on your spells. Oh
Yeah, and change some
oh
spells.
yeah. You can change your spells and choose which ones you want to have prepared for the day.
Yeah, but because I'm nice, I'll let you know.
Yeah. No, it's good to let me know. And do you know how to calculate how many spells you should have prepared?
Yeah.
Cool.
I followed the table.
You follow. What, sorry?
I found a table that said how many
Ah, right.
spells you get.
Yeah. I mean, it's like your wisdom modifier plus your druid level or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So anything else from anyone? Okay.
No.
Those of you who rested in the bed, you get advantage on your first roll of the day. The rest of you don't, because you slept in shitty conditions. Ish.
Okay.
Could have been worse. But you guys all awake, and I will say that you've convened once you've all woken up at this point in the dining room. What are you all up to?
So
And the dwarf is nowhere to be
also-
seen, and neither is the orc at this point.
I guess we go to the West Clef district
Yeah, we need to.
And
and
Nihal,
do
you
some
hear
investigation.
Nihal, you hear snoring as well, coming from the dwarf's chambers.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What is it?
How many nights do we pay for the room?
I think just one.
Just one.
I think so.
For a shite hole.
Oh, in any case, if we come back, we can try and get more rooms. This place looks dead.
I don't think they have more rooms.
Well, they have 6. 2 more.
Well, anyway.
Okay.
I agree, though. We should go to the Westcliff district before the
I'm
boss.
going to
gets-
church.
You're not going to church. You're fucked.
I'm going to church. You guys go ahead. I'll catch up.
What kind of church?
The church I was pointing to.
Thank God, say that again.
The one I was pointing
No,
to.
before that.
I'm going to church.
After that.
Oh, you guys going ahead. I'll catch up.
How will that end?
He's
You
getting
guys-
ready
Staring off.
again.
You staring off into the distance and no one to
He's
wake you up.
getting ready
And I
again.
like pat Isha on the back. I like, Isha will come with me.
If you like, brother.
He loves talking about the light and that. Maybe we'll find it a bit more light.
The city must be perished.
Yikes.
Did they found each other?
I'm like, please don't say that in the church.
We'll see.
No, you two fools can do what you want. I, however, don't want to go into the Westcliff district with only 3 of us. We've been told it's dangerous.
Well, technically not. It's dangerous if the Durga goes there. Apparently they're going to make mess.
Why don't you go see the fire boys?
Alright, let's do that.
The fire boys.
The fire boys.
So we're splitting the party here. What are you guys doing?
Going to see the fire boys, the firefighters.
Yeah.
We're going to church.
Okay.
And we're going to church.
Okay.
I'll go to church first.
Okay. Who's going to church?
I
Wait,
go
wait,
Yeah,
to
and
Isha.
I'll grow.
Where's the other ones going?
Apparently, you go see the firekeepers.
Where's that?
Where is that?
You find the dragon, you'll surely find them.
Okay.
You have the strong inclination that the keepers will be wherever Themberchaud is. But also you were told by a certain Erday Blackskull that the insignia will not give you free passage south of the furrow. Likely.
Shit.
You can go see the stone giants. Or
No
is that the same
battling
bit?
here, sir. Time to skip.
Suddenly the barkeep jumps in front.
Yeah, the orc comes bursting out.
Or talk of an orc like.
Okay, let's all go to church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
alright.
Alright.
I don't think we'll be able to see the firekeeper until we deal with us.
And in that moment, Angrod's spacing out.
Bonk.
Oh, you wake up.
You see why we need the Sphinx? I'm more of a detriment than a help.
Oh fuck.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Is he spacing out one more time while we go there?
I mean, it happens pretty incrementally.
Can I hit him in the balls?
No,
I'll
don't
say
do that.
sure on
That's
the
just
way
mean.
there. Next time, maybe.
Oh.
As you guys, okay, like, as you guys start heading in where you were directed before for Ladugor's temple, eventually you do, after some searching, in fact, who's leading the way?
I'd guess Nihal.
Yeah, definitely.
Just make a investigation check, just to see if you find it okay. And, I'll say you have advantage too, since you have got directions. Yeah, that's good enough.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
it takes you a little bit. You wander around the bazaar for a little bit. You see business is not booming, but it's more busy than usual in the bazaar. And you pass through and go off to the more northeastern corner of the area. And eventually you come across one of the stalagmites, which has a very ornate temple carved out of it. And brazen outside its front are these two pillars, each with shields on them, and the symbol of a broken arrow on the shields. I'll say if you're proficient in religion, you can make a religion check about Laudiguer. Don't know how the fuck you say it, to be honest.
I don't think I am.
Laudiguer, apparently. Laudiguer.
Damn it, it's not checked.
You have no idea, Neil, anything
Good,
about.
good.
Okay, Angrod, you know because of your celestial heritage a little bit more about the average person when it comes to the pantheon. This isn't a very well known god, especially since it's a specific god to the Durgar, and it's also known as the Grey Protector. And he's a not a good aligned god. In line with Duergar society is not the best. And generally, thinking about it, you think they're more of the war domain than they are of like any kind of healing. But you don't know too much else apart from that he's racist as a deity and thinks basically might makes right. The strong should prevail. If you're weak, then get the fuck out. But do you approach the large metal doors before you? Again, there's likely like the hold. There's some stairs that kind of lead up.
I'll approach.
Okay, you begin walking and you space out. Halfway up the stairs. Nihal hits you in the balls and you wake up.
Yes.
I'm like, ah!
Yeah, you got this sharp pain in your nuts.
I'm like, the hag! It's a hag! I like sit at the step, I'm like, oh. I like take a breath, I'm like, oh.
Vietnam
The best-
flashbacks.
Investigation check on my nutsack.
Do you
Do you
actually?
still have two?
No, I do not actually, no.
Do you start fondling
Investigate
yourself
them.
outside this temple?
I'm just, no. I just say in Nihal, like, I was thinking, right?
As you get to the top of the okay, as you get to the top of the stairs, two figures become visible at either side of the door. Hooded figures, not like the ones you've seen before. Different robes, more dark red, almost maroon colored robes with like silver lining all around it, and they call it in Dwarvish some incomprehensible thing that you don't understand.
I'm like,
And
I
they
like
seem,
put my
you know,
finger up for 1 second and I put the Helm of Comprehend Languages on.
okay. Is that an attunable item?
It doesn't say magical.
Okay. If it doesn't say it needs attunement, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
While wearing this helm, You can use an action to comprehend languages
There you go.
at will.
Okay, so now you're affected by the comprehend languages. They're standing there
Yeah.
waiting for you to reply.
I'm like, sorry, could you repeat that?
Their eyes focus in on you, and they call it again in Dwarvish. They say, uh, "What's your business with our god?"
Just hoping you could help me out with something.
I don't believe he cares for your kind.
I'm like, oh, does he just assume I'm a mere human?
He is the Grey Protector. I doubt he has any interest in you.
Do I do it? Do I do it?
I think you do it. Initiate pure bullshit mode.
Initiate combat.
No,
No.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
Huh?
uh, I pop Radiant Soul Jordan.
Oh fuck. Sure.
That's not what I was thinking.
Yeah, I got to the dregs of my rum. It's gross. Uh, you unleash the divine energy, causing your eyes to glimmer and two luminous wings to spread from your back. Yep. So your eyes glow for a second, and you see their hands reach within their robes as you do this. And as the wings sprout from your back, they blink in and out of existence for a couple of seconds before solidifying. Uh, Almost like you're having a hard time with it. But they've pulled out these very long silver, less like daggers, more like needles. Like they're cone shaped almost and come to a point, and they pull these bad boys out and they're ready to engage. And then you've come out with these wings, and your eyes are blaring, glazed over, sort of white. You guys all see this too, I guess, if you're there.
And I say to them, I think me and him can make a deal.
Make a make a persuasion check. All right, let me make a roll. Okay. Uh, so they have their daggers ready, aimed at you, aimed towards you at least, and they look at one another, and they face you again, and say, "Only you, your companions, stay here.
I might.
You may have a few words, and only a few words."
I might. I just like, fair enough. And I turn and I say, I'm gonna go inside for a little while. They're saying it's gonna take some time.
Try not to get raped.
Try not to like space out. I guess we'll wait here.
I give them the smirk as I walk over to them.
Give who the smirk?
I give
Dwarf.
like the group the smirk.
Oh, okay, okay. The group.
The group.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm walking over to the dwarfs.
Okay. So you walk towards the doors, and they still have their daggers out, and they open the door. One leads you, and one leads from behind, still dagger out. and looks over his shoulder back at all of you standing on the steps. And they close the door behind, and your companion Angrods.
And then I say, like, to show a sign of good faith, I cast Arcane Lock on the door.
As soon as you start incanting, the one behind you presses his dagger up against you and says, he says, no arcane magics within the temple.
Of course. Apologies.
It fizzles out and you spend the spell slot. Since you began preparing it.
Yep. That's fine.
And they continue pressing onwards with you. And you see this is like a large, high-ceilinged hallway with these pillars at either side with these shields with the broken arrows on them. And at the end of the hallway is this dais, and upon the dais is this dwarvish-looking figure with that same shield, and in one hand a pickaxe, and in the other the shield, and stands there. And you see there's several other like acolyte type people sort of around, and they're all trained on you as like an outsider. And you can see like there's acolytes, cleric type people, priests, and they push you up towards the statue, and they say, "You may have your words now. Make them
Okay.
few." And they
I-
press the dagger away from your back
I'm like, appreciate.
and stand aside. These halls are, you get like this cold feeling. It's all steel and stone, and it's not like, but you've seen dwarven structures like this before, kind of in Gauntlegrim, where the pillars are like almost marble and like it's nicely decorated, very aesthetically pleasing. This place is like practical. In fact, the Durgar people and their architecture in general, you notice, is just like utilitarian practicality over anything. The only thing they kind of maybe take with a bit of artistry is like their weapons and steel forging of like weapons and armor, and that's about it.
Cool.
But this place is very
Uh,
cold, very, yeah.
I get like I take like a praying position,
Mhm.
and in my head I say, "Oh, Grey Protector, heed my words, for I want to become the strongest."
Make a religion check with disadvantage.
Gladiola, get the fuck out of here.
Yep, you hear nothing in return. You just sat there, and you can hear the murmurings in the background of all the dwarves talking to each other, all the Durgar speaking words. And as you're meditating for a moment, I actually need to check this. This could be kind of important. You hear something within your skull, like almost like dozens of insects crawling around inside your skull and in your mind. Like little delicate legs crawling over your brain.
I don't like. Oh,
It's
this is my
very,
worry.
very unsettling.
I stand my ground, unflinching.
I mean, it continues. It's almost like you make a uh, make a medicine check.
Swear God. I'm gonna use that inspiration point, Jordan.
Okay, go ahead, roll again.
Oh, oh.
You feel, as you're meditating there, you get this feeling that whatever's inside you, whatever's afflicting you, is growing.
Oh no!
And in this like moment of peace and calm, you just get this nagging feeling like if left unchecked, it could get out of hand, and who knows what may happen.
I'm like, I get off. I'm like, he doesn't want to talk to me. It's great. Thanks.
As you abruptly get up, like about 5 or 6 of them fucking whip out their daggers instantly. They're very on edge with you being there, and sort of the head priest you gather, he seems to command a lot of authority. Walks up towards you. He has like long curled hair, sort of down to his shoulders, and this very small, well-kept beard, smaller than most of the Durgar in here. He walks towards you and just says, "Then leave."
I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, and he gets his acolytes to escort you out to the front, and you guys see as you're are you guys just waiting outside? I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gates, the doors open again, and you see Angrod being hastily escorted out by 2 acolytes, who then take post at the top of the stairs, watching all of you. Angrod looking
Well.
kind of flustered.
Well, what's up? What happened?
I'm like, there's something in my head. Like, an actual bug or something in my head.
What?
Whatever the hang it me is in my head. I can feel it growing.
Bosner? You.
I'm like, Bozzer, you're a fucking cleric me.
Cleric me.
See how you're a true nature me.
What's wrong with you exactly?
There's something in my head growing. Apart
Growing.
from my brain. There's like a bug or something in my head.
Oh.
Do you have anything for that?
I may
1
try
second.
to study something,
check.
but I don't think so.
No. Well, is it a disease? Would I know if it's a disease?
It is not a disease, it's a living creature in my that has been put in through my ear hole.
Is it a
You sure it was earhole?
curse?
It's it could have been unethical. I don't fucking know, but it's in my head now, that's all I know.
Angrod, make a Constitution save.
Oh no. Not like this. Please.
Angra's gonna die.
That's
My
all I
head's
needed
gonna
to know.
explode. My head's gonna explode.
Can you do it quietly? Jesus. So, I could try a spell, but I only get 1 a day. It cures diseases.
What?
Yeah, but that's not disease, technically.
I don't know, is it? Parasite is a disease.
Giant riding
That
lizards are
wasn't me.
biggest fan.
Fucking, whose type was me, you prick?
Wait, how do you have access to him? I need to change that.
Goes mate. Yeah, you forgot to change that.
I used to have Aranvir for ages as well.
Yeah. It's just me.
Oh god. Oh, like, it's not a disease, Boston. I'm like, Nihal, do you have anything?
Could it be from the mushrooms? A kind of fungus.
It was crawling. Whatever it was crawling.
It's a parasite.
Exactly. A parasite.
That certainly sounds like it'd be up a druid's alley.
Can I examine?
Yeah, I have nothing to kill animals inside his head.
I
have
don't
a
need a
hammer.
cure, I need it out.
Okay, you want to examine him? Like,
Yeah.
for...
For I want to examine his head
Uh-huh,
for something crawling around inside it.
okay.
We're going to go to a really quiet place.
Right,
I'm
so
going
you
to
guys,
listen
like...
to his head.
Yeah, I mean, like, the priests and well, the two acolytes who came out to the front, they were kind of staring you down, and you got the feeling that you weren't welcome on the stairs anymore. So you, as you leave and stuff, and find like a quiet corner, which they are plentiful at the moment, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Advantage because it's first roll, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
There you go, sir.
don't fucking roll poor. Oh, thank God.
Oh,
Got lucky.
As you're
reasonably lucky.
so you're looking. So you like firstly you look through his scalp.
Yeah.
And you notice something weird. There
Oh, don't tell me
are
it's dandruff.
on his scalp as you like look through. There's like these weird, very small, very subtle. It's you're lucky to have picked it up. 25. uh, but you see there are strange lumps.
Oh, really?
With
I've
like
got
these,
Ew.
with
cancer.
like these like almost
Nihao,
pox
come here.
marks,
Nihao,
on his
Nihao, come here,
scalp.
come here.
Yeah,
I need a dagger.
yeah. I'll lend him one of my daggers.
And
What?
I
Regular
take-
ones.
I
One
take
I
the
hope
dagger and
is
say,
not poisoned.
no, I'm not going to cut him yet.
No,
And
one
I
of
shave
the
his head.
regular dagger.
I start cutting the hair away and start shaving his head.
Okay.
I say, look at the lumps. There's lumps. There's things in his head. Need to get it out. And I shave his head. And he's totally bald.
Ew.
Sure. Sure. It takes you some time. It's very, it's not exactly a clean cut. It's very, your hair looks terrible now. What's left of it, and yeah, you cut away most of the hair after some time.
Do I see the-
Just make a dexterity check for me.
It's a straight up check.
Yeah, just for me, bud. Just in case you get a crit fail. Okay.
Stop.
Yeah, you cut away. Eventually, he's basically bald at this point, and yeah, you notice that there's some weird, over a dozen kind of lumps on his head. They're not overly big, quite hard to notice, but they're there.
Good news
You want
is,
a first one?
good news is, you look pretty good with no hair, so that's okay. Bad news is, I think we're gonna have to pop a couple of these things and hope whatever's in there comes out, and you're gonna bleed a lot.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like, I'm a human. I went through spot popping when I was a child. I'm okay with this.
Do you think we should get you really drunk first?
Nah, just do it.
No,
Just go for it.
we might not
Yeah,
have the
if
time.
you have something you can bite on, so he doesn't fucking scream up half of fucking
Good idea.
yeah.
I pull it from my bag. I'm like, I'll just put some rope in between my mouth.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Nihal, make a perception
he's
check.
Kinda... Oh, yeah.
You hear some footsteps approaching. Heavy footfalls.
Oh no, get out of the way. Hide. Maybe a stone giant
Yeah.
again.
It's not that heavy, no. It's like heavy plate mailed
Is it an
people.
invisible person?
She can't tell for now. It's around the corner, but it seems to be getting louder and approaching you guys.
Okay.
I'll get out the mace of smiting just in case.
You pull out your mace.
Brandish the
You pull out your
weapon.
mace, and you guys are like pulling away, trying to find another area nearby, and it's easy enough. So you pull off to the side, and Nihal, you're keeping an eye out. Okay, so what are you guys doing? You've got bald Arenveer here on his knees, I guess.
Angrod.
Because Boz,
Angrod.
sorry, Angrod. Fuck.
So, he's got-
Ironbeard is a
Dude,
pile of
I failed my con save on that rum.
he's kneeling in front of me,
Mhm.
and I'm standing with a dagger, and I grab the top of his head under
I've like got rope in my mouth.
he's got a rope in his mouth.
Yeah.
I say to Isha, go and pop a couple of these with a dagger. I handle the dagger because I'm holding him still.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Okay. Isha,
And
make
Isha Stop.
make a dexterity check.
Just straight.
Yeah, just straight up.
Please don't fail.
I did sleep in the bed.
Okay, you have advantage.
Sweet. Oh Jesus.
Oh no!
Angrod is dead.
Oh, fuck, you missed. What the fuck are you doing?
Look.
Okay. Angrod, you
I
take
can't believe I'm going to be murdered.
Angrod, you
in
take
a street alley.
2 points of piercing damage as Isha starts stabbing in, and he's not exactly delicate with it. And Isha,
I'm a man of bow and arrow.
Isha, you've got pretty decent passive perception. You notice as you pop it, some weird spores come out of it.
Oh, God.
Spores.
Yeah.
It was a
very
goddamn-
like glitter popping out of a big spot, essentially. Some spores
Mask
popped
up.
out. Psh.
Try not to breathe it in.
Yeah.
There's some
Do you want
spores
someone
coming
else
out.
to try?
I can keep going if you like.
Okay. Take your time.
How many is there?
There's like over a dozen all over the scalp. Like maybe 12,
This
13,
might take a while.
14
This is gonna hurt me. It's about 14. We've got one
ish.
from 3 stabs.
They
we've
aren't
got one.
they aren't overly large either. That's why you need to be dexterous, because it's kind of like pretty precise.
Second one.
Okay.
Oh,
Alright.
Better.
So you managed to, Angros, once you you took that first one, you've managed to settle down. Bozer's holding you tight, and Isha, you managed to pop this one. You didn't feel too much pain, not enough to warrant hit points being removed from your pool. But same again, it pops, and like a little spurt of very fine spores comes out.
Did no one tell
Oh.
you not to take food from strangers?
Also, I need all of you to roll con saves.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Even with my mask on?
Yeah, everyone. I'll give you advantage with your mask, Isha.
Oof.
be
Ju-
brave,
just to be
comrades.
clear, just to be clear,
Oh,
to be clear with you guys before you start freaking out. This isn't to do with this. This is to do with something I totally forgot about that I just remembered. So
Alright,
did
okay.
anyone roll below an 11?
Oh wait, Danny roll as well,
Yep,
Jordan.
even you.
Below what?
11.
I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Angrod.
Oh no.
Angrod.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Angrod and Nihal, because of the nature of the city and its smog, it's really affected your lungs, and
Wait
you're
a second.
profusely coughing a lot. Each of you have 1 level of exhaustion from basically the smog in the city. Anyways.
you both have a lung cancer.
No, it's alright. Mine's is spread to
You guys have like smoker's cough at the moment. It's not too bad, but it's not great either. Which
Does
means
that-
a disadvantage
does that go
on
away?
skill checks.
Yeah, does that go away after a long rest? Yeah,
You don't know.
just okay.
A long
rest outside the city.
So should we pop
However,
more?
back to the popping of zits or
Oh,
whatever.
wait. I used the inspiration point you gave me last time.
Okay,
That one.
okay, you can use it now if you want. Alright, you don't have
Yes.
it. Angro, do you have lung cancer? No, I'm just kidding. You do have 1 point of
I mean-
exhaustion.
And
Brain
Right.
parasite, lung cancer.
Angro's fucked.
I had so many cool things lined up for him, and yet he's
No, I'm
going
just-
to die in an
I'm just
alley.
kidding, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Ish. So, yeah, do you continue the popping?
should I pop more?
Yeah, keep
Mhm.
popping.
I mean,
You've got to do it.
this is really painful, Angro, as well. Some of them more painful than the others.
I've just proven myself to the degree protector.
Okay, are you going to, like, pop the rest of them, just for the sake of, like, time?
Let me just double check something though.
Right. So,
He's gonna
doing
stop
each
me.
one individually is gonna take some time, so just let me know if you're...
Oh,
Well,
just
yeah.
do a mercy killing.
We've started. We know that it's something. I was just like wanting to pop one or two to check that it's not just this weird head.
Oh, I'm just gonna kind of stand away from this.
Okay, you...
Like, I'll stand next to you. I'll keep you
Yeah,
warm.
like
Hold my
a
breath.
bit on the side, just
Not
keeping an eye
breathing.
out.
Uh-huh.
Where are we exactly?
In, like, a
In the
back
alleyway.
alleyway.
How far from the nearest pavement?
I mean, the whole thing's, like, kind of similar ground. There's no, like... It's all paved. But, like, this
Like, how
whole...
far from the nearest road? Like, how out of the way?
I wish I could ping on your maps for you, but essentially you're in between one of these columns, a couple of gates, and like the back of a building. So it's very secluded, generally.
Okay, let me try
I look at my
something.
map, but I couldn't.
Okay.
I wanna cast Fairy Fire under Angro.
Okay, under Angrod, so any invisible creatures will be revealed, and it outlines basically everything in that square. Okay.
Hopefully it will outline his zit.
His weird head.
I should see if
Does
the
that give advantage on him?
head.
Okay, I'll say with that plus Bosner's holding him still, I'll say you have advantage. You get
Okay.
to this next roll was for the rest of the zits because I'm not doing everyone individually.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yep, and I'll decide how many hit points it gets rolled for.
I can't look. Oh,
Oh!
Surprisingly, almost like surgical precision, you managed to cut the rest of them without dealing too much damage. For the
Physical
rest,
damage.
For the rest of them, yeah. For the rest of them, you only take 4 points of damage, Angro. Altogether, for like your whole head is covered in blood though, and like pus as well, blood and pus, and there's like spores filling the air. And
I need to move.
the spores kind of glitter with like green and purples because of the fairy fire. It's kind of easier to see the spore as well, and there's more than you expected with the naked eye.
Cancer, use your dagger.
I'll say,
Mine, it's
I'll,
Nihao,
s-
still back Nihao.
I'll say
Yeah,
Isha,
wipe it.
Isha make a con save with advantage, and Bosner make a con save.
Is this against a poison?
Sure.
Cool.
Well, it's
Sure.
not. It's not poison. No. So you don't have advantage. Okay,
Oh no.
that's all I needed to know.
Oh no.
So you popped all the zits.
I did say I was like hold my breath, eh?
Yeah.
For how long?
What's
But,
your
like-
con modifier?
Mine plus.
Wait, did you fail?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
3. Not fucking 1.
You got a what? You rolled a natural one.
I've rolled a few.
What's your
Hear
con?
that clicking? That's I'm adding notes to my character.
What's your con modifier, sir?
Told you.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minus 2.
Mm, 1, 2. Okay, in that case, you would have been able to hold your breath for about 3 minutes
Alright, sure. Yeah, okay.
So it take with a crit and his dexterity. I'll say you would have been able to hold your breath. So
Thank fuck.
you're fine.
Thanks, my dexterity.
Hog.
If you had
Hold
one
on.
less con modifier, yeah. Anyway,
Game
so you
over,
pop
man.
his head. He's bald. His scalp's covered in blood, and plus, what are you all doing?
I do
Zero-
one last inspection of these zits and make sure there's nothing like still in there, just to make sure.
You kind of have to like clean it away with a water skin. I'll give make a medicine check.
Yeah, I'll do that. Let's check.
Yeah. You don't see any more zits or anything like that. However, in some of the crevices where they were, you see this kind of like faint fluffiness, like fluff
Oh,
or
shit.
something.
I'm got
You
some
want
bad
the
news.
dagger back to take.
No.
Right,
Hey, buddy.
I have an herbalism kit. There should be some like clippers inside.
What do you
I
have?
think an herbalism kit. There should be like
Oh, yeah.
clippers and stuff.
I'll just start
So,
making a new character
I'll
again.
hand him the clippers and see what he can take out of that.
I like trying. Oh god, this is Megan. Oh fuck's sake!
Okay.
Why is it always my character?
So more. What was it?
Because
you were
you
doing?
stupid shit.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I just like take the very tip of the dagger and try and like scrape out a tiny
Okay.
out of his bleeding scalp.
Oh my. Okay. Make a dex check.
Legit fucking back alley scuffed surgery.
Hey, we're doing pretty fucking well, right?
Yeah, he's.
Dex,
Yeah,
dex.
yeah, dex check. Flat dex.
Oh,
No, not a save.
sorry.
But it doesn't matter,
Sorry.
you don't have a bonus to saves, I don't think. Fuck. Okay. Bosner, you take 10 points of piercing damage.
You mean Angrod?
Angrod. Fuck!
Oh,
Angrod, you take 10 points of piercing damage as you feel the sharp edge of a dagger digging into your skull.
ah.
Under the skin. It's like scraping against the nerves. It's painful as
Sorry,
a.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I
Oh
tried
god,
to
this is
use-
awful.
Try to be as unflinching as possible.
Okay,
Show my
make a con save.
You're making it worse for yourself. You just shut up and just took the 10 points.
You start like yelling out in pain, but with the help of the rope,
I
it's muffled.
I stop.
Okay, it's like
know.
oh, it's like snake
Right,
torture
right,
scene
okay,
from
okay,
MGS1.
I didn't like whack his leg to like encourage him to keep going.
Nope.
Oh,
Nothing more I can do. Nothing more I can do. Right, so we got the spores of the fungus out, but we didn't get the fungus itself out. I can see it. It's in your skull. Try not to freak
I'll
out,
give you.
but
I'll
it's in
give
your
you the
skull.
clippers from
No, don't give me.
the kit.
Oh god, wait.
Okay, then I'll try to take it out.
Oh fuck! Okay, on you go.
Before she does that, I want. Can I roll a nature check, Jordan, for interaction with poison and fungi?
What?
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
He's trying to commit Sudoku.
Alright, tell you
I'm
what.
trying-
What is it you want to do?
I want to put poison on the fungi.
Okay.
You're gonna poison yourself.
The poison's not
Wait.
acid, just to be clear.
So you're gonna
it's
put
poison.
the
It's
poison
drow poison.
that can kill you if into your bloodstream, and you're gonna pour it on your fucking head. The one that's covered in fucking like cuts.
In fact, no, you're right. That's dumb.
I'll heal you.
Right.
I'll heal you, man. I'll keep you alive.
The feedback loop.
We've
It'll
got,
work.
we've got to burn it out.
Secret flame, dude. The smallest secret
Oh,
flame
that's
you
not
got.
a flame. That's not even a flame. It's just like a divine.
Right, go Neil. You do your thing. Your thing.
Jesus.
Then
This is awful.
I'll take the thingy. out
Whatever
of
whatever
herbalism
you do.
kit,
Whatever you
And
but
I'll try to pull out the mushrooms
Pull out the mushrooms with what, sorry?
of his head.
They aren't mushrooms per se, it's more like a moss type thing.
It's more like if you leave an apple out and you get that kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like a lichen. Or lichen, don't know how you say it.
I think it's either
I
or.
want to try to pull it out of his head.
Okay dokie.
this disclaimer, whatever happens, it was her.
These are rather
Hmm.
small poxes, by the way. It's not like big fucking
Oh,
bulbous
well,
things
then
on his
no.
head. It'd be
No, do
very
it.
precise. You have to have like long nails to get a grim.
No, I should.
No,
Let
but
me
you're using
check.
the clippers. Are you not using clippers?
Yeah, what are you using for this?
I'm checking what's inside.
Checking my inventory. Pause menu. The UI's up.
enter the bag of holding.
Shifting through the tabs. What have I got? What have I got?
Weapons,
There is
arrows, tools.
clippers. There is
Orc lag.
clippers, mortar, and pestle.
And pesto?
Oh,
You're gonna make a
pesto.
fucking
Pesto.
sauce in my head?
Pestle.
Yeah, that's for like making herbs. So clippers was the first thing, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more like.
That's like shears.
Yeah.
That's like
Well
you could have
done.
used that to cut his hair. It would have looked better.
Yeah, probably. It's
Could
not.
be-
It's, we're looking for. We need tweezers or something,
Okay,
but.
he's not what I thought.
Okay. Yeah, clippers are kind of like small shears, kind of like scissors, basically.
No. Then I think you keep that thing in your head.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
I think they're all. I think they're all put in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I just say, put me in my misery or take me to the fucking first aiders.
We don't
Okay.
know where the first aiders are.
Jesus. I think I'm going to cast a quick cure wounds on him
Okay. Go ahead.
and say we're not going to do much else today. You get to add 3 to that as well. It's 5.
5 hit
Hooray.
points.
You fixed half the damage you did before.
Mm-hmm.
That's progress.
And that's where we'll leave it there for now.
Sorry, bud.